Welcome, rock gnomes and stone giants, to episode 55 of Dion Rising. Hi, kids. This right here is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play campaign brought to you by the Knights of D20. We're all in our holiday sweaters. Winter is here. Not just coming, baby. As usual, or maybe not so usual, we are going to skip right over our announcements today. We just want to wish you all a very happy holiday and a grand festivus to the rest of us. So make sure you stay warm, stay healthy out there. We are going to have a quiet week, a silent night, if you will. So just tune in next Monday again to watch us come play D&D, as we always do. So before we begin, last time we played, you all were ambushed by cultists of the uninvited, unyielding, and unstoppable cult. You all watched Seraphina fall and were unable to save her as she was dragged away into a teleportation circle. I'd like to ask every player except Melanie to please step away from your computers, take out your headphones, turn off your speakers, so Melanie and I can have a quick conversation. I'll message you on Discourse when it's time to come back.
The chat has to leave too.
Yeah, bye chat. Everybody go away. It's private. Just kidding. Stick around. You all get to know because you're not playing. Do not give it away in the chat though, chat. Be cool. Be cool. Okay. Melanie, last time you played, Seraphina suffered multiple stab wounds with radiant blades and dropped to 0 hit points. You got a nat 1 on your first death save in that game. Resulting in 2 out of 3 failures that you would have needed to fully die. After we stopped streaming, I messaged you privately to roll your remaining death saves and tell me the results. Your first result when you rolled was a 3, which was your 3rd fail. So at that moment, you and I both said, Seraphina is dead at this moment. Yeah. You and I know that. The rest of the players do not. The audience now knows that too, so be cool, audience.
Be cool.
Be cool. Be cool. We're not telling them yet. Okay. So, you were dragged, your body, I should say, was dragged from the woods in Wawasite through that teleportation circle last time I played with the rest of the group. So, Seraphina, you begin in darkness. Not pain, not silence either, but distance. There's no woodland battlefield, no blood, no weight to your body. You're standing barefoot, well, 1 foot barefoot, on cirrostratus clouds. Above you stretches an endless twilight sky, neither night nor day, somewhere in between, threaded with faint constellations that shift when you try and focus on them, but gleam bright starlight. You're alone, for a moment. Then you realize something's not right. You don't feel your heart beating. You have no pulse thrumming in your neck, and no blood warms your body. You inhale and nothing fills your lungs. You exhale, nothing leaves. But you're not suffocating. It's not right, but it's not wrong. You just feel finished. Like the last page of a book that's already turned. Then you kind of notice a presence stirring behind you. It's not approaching, it's simply there. You hear a voice, intimate and familiar. Seraphina, you have always hated unfinished work. You turn or the sky pivots around you. It's hard to tell here. And Idrelis the Skykeeper comes into view. Doesn't stand before you as a monster or a god, but as he did in your only other memory of him, this tall, composed figure, his features sculpted by starlight and shadow. A dragon's countenance, but these 2 knowing, you could almost call them human eyes glowing faintly. Not threatening, just blithely aware. And he looks at you with something a bit like disappointment. Not in you necessarily, but in the world. You died beautifully. Not loudly. Not uselessly. But you did die. Do not reach for anger, yet. You earned the truth. Your body failed in the last moments of that battle for you. But your soul did not flee. It waits. That's why I speak to you again now. Your relentless, waiting spirit refuses to go unheard again. kind of gestures and the twilight ripples, and images start surfacing like reflections in dark water. Your companions fighting on without you, around you. Amelia's face, gleeful and proud, with a familiar bag slung across her shoulder, walking through magma-lit tunnels. The same tunnels you see your body still being carried through stone corridors, all lit by magma flowing through these like glass pipes and forge fires. And Idrelis kind of watches your reaction to all of this. Your companions will grieve you. They will rage. They will move on. Mortals are quite good at that. You, however, do not have to be finished. He steps a little bit closer, and the air just hums here now, with not malice, but some possibility that you might reach for. You were never meant to be fragile, Seraphina. You are no tower-bound princess awaiting rescue. That body, noble blood, wasted potential, was a limitation imposed on you by chance and cowardly gods. I could further remove that limitation. I can return you to the world, not as you were, as you should have been. Your soul bound more tightly to power. Your will reinforced. Your magic unmistakable. No more shame. No more hiding where you find your power. No more wanting. No more needing others to survive what fate demands of you. He doesn't ask you to serve him. He's not asking you for obedience. Instead, he just opens his large-scaled palm. And within it burns that familiar sigil, your pact mark, that you originally sealed in a snowy field of Nerdistan. But this time it's a bit altered, sharper and deeper and more intricate. This is not a leash, it is insurance. You would rise again, stronger, harder to kill, and more importantly, able to defend those you love as they defend you even now. And you see an image of Glitterbell biting at, stomping on the actual cultist, the one who dealt the final blow, with Killian standing beside her, half trying to hold her back, but also half going in on this cultist as well. This like crazy rage in his eyes, reflected in Glitterbell's for sure. Taking maybe her first attacks at someone ever, in your absence. There are many hands moving pieces on the board right now. Some old, some arrogant, some who believe they are entitled to your future. You do not need to concern yourself with them yet. Let me worry about the enemies. You have the chance now to worry about living again and returning to your Starstone ward. Glitterbell stomps and lifts a back leg and keys on the dead cultist's body. The vision shifts away from her. You see yourself standing beside your companions. But this time when danger comes, you don't fall. You stand firm. Magic answers you instantly, faster than it has. Enemies hesitate when you speak. No one doubts you, and no one pities you, and no one questions you. They already walk a road paved with celestial armaments and ancient wars. If you refuse me, you will be remembered. If you accept me, you will matter. And he steps back, giving you some space. And the twilight kind of fractures into two impressions on the horizon. One of stillness and peace and final rest. One below, of heat, of breath, of pain, followed by power. I will not force you. That is the difference between me and the gods who abandoned you to bleed out in the dirt. You may choose. You have the chance to sort of reach toward one future or the other. You feel something distantly. A hammer is striking metal. There's a forge roaring to life. And far away, your body being prepared for something it was not meant to endure. You begin to sense gravity in this space between breaths. A gentle pull asking if you'd like to fall back into the life you led. Idrelis spread his wings, preparing to take flight into whatever beyond life might await. Melanie, in this moment, does Seraphina choose to resume her life on Dion? or tie up all her loose ends? Or does she choose instead to move on to the unknown hereafter?
I think just sensing the allure of power and the path that she's taken, it's still unfinished. She's gonna choose to come back.
Okay. And you feel gravity take over, and we will return to Seraphina soon. I'm going to tell the rest of the gang to come on back to their computers. Okay. I'll ask you to respond to everything and tell your party whatever Seraphina would. It is your prerogative whether Seraphina is going to reveal any of this.
Okay.
Dane must have gone for another jog.
So
What
it's the
happened?
same.
So Killian died, it turns out. No, I'm just kidding.
What a twist!
Hello.
Hello.
Hello!
Okay. The rest of you. You step through a teleportation circle prepared by your friend, Darkdown. Eureka, Fellshade. The teleportation circle's light fades, and you each take a moment to reorient yourself after a flash of bright magic whisks you across space. There's a road in front of you, leading away from this sort of pillared arch that sort of marks this teleportation circle's end point. It winds upward through a landscape scorched by ancient fires and shaped by patient, deliberate hands. The air grows warmer as you step off of the teleportation circle, which dims slowly. And soon you can smell the scent of smoke carrying on the wind. Thick and mineral-rich and tinged with, like, the sharp bite of hot metal. And then, as you blink and clear your vision, a mountain opens before you, and you can see it. Barrock Forge, the living heart of Morn, cradled in the bowl of an old volcanic caldera. A city carved around into and atop a massive volcano. Great basalt columns rise like ribs of a sleeping titan, framing this impossible city built on a scale that defies belief. There are giant honed stone terraces sort of stepped up along the mountainside, each one broad enough to hold entire city districts. The buildings atop them are monolithic, shaped from single stones or fused slabs, shining darkly in the sun. Their roofs are reinforced with like iron struts that are thicker than tree trunks. And you can start heading into the lower reaches of this city at the base of this mountain. And you note that the architecture is hexagonal, it's purposeful, it's strong, every square foot meant to withstand centuries on tumultuous, ever-changing earth around a volcano, if not ages. In between all these colossal building forms, you see a sort of second layer of the city reveal itself as you come in closer. Gnomish workshops, narrow and bright and little, sprouting from the cracks in alcoves like little clever fungi. Brass catwalks and copper pipes just speak to this sort of like technological advancement of this city that you haven't seen in any of the places you've been yet. There are steam vents hissing politely beside little great chimney stacks. Delicate glass panels are glittering amid the giants' like shadowed heights, catching the glow of like little forge fires inside and scattering all this warm dancing prism all around the place. And above it all looms this massive volcano. In its base, which is sunk partly into the mountainside, is the Barrock Forge, a famous, enormous temple-like foundry whose front gates are tall enough for a storm giant to walk through. It's sort of the focal point of this city, just raised up enough that you can see it from pretty much any point in the horizon around this volcano. And it's like underneath this massive forge, you see this like pipe letting out a steady stream of lava that pours forth into the valley below, the desert valley below, before it cools in the distance, creating this like hot glowing river cutting through the landscape away from the city. And the heat radiating as you get closer to the city and closer to the caldera is just like sunlight trapped and condensed. And though you can tell the altitude here in this like sort of desert mountainous region, your altitude is high, the heat from the single volcano just like fights back that bitter cold to the point where you can feel almost like a cold winter night sitting in really close to a hot fire on your skin. Just the surface of your skin almost goes red immediately just walking around here. And every few minutes you hear this deep metallic clang, clang echoing across the city, like the mountain and its people are just answering its own heartbeat back and forth. And Barrock is alive with everyday motion. Giant smiths are striding through the streets with big old bundles of raw ore slung over their shoulders, each piece the size of like a full wagon. Others are pushing massive hand carts, bristling with like half-cooled blades. Their tattoos on these giants are like glowing faintly a little bit with traces of little primordial earth magics. You see a bunch of these. Killian in particular, you would probably note that a lot of these are like an homage to Turbis, the Earth Shaper, one of the primordials, the primordial of Earth, who kind of famously guides this city, aside from the celestial gods. It's immediately clear, based on like the population bustling about, the gnomes underfoot, and the giants stepping carefully and cautiously, slowly through the city. This is a place of like cooperation between the two very different races, as opposed to like contest. On the higher terraces from down below, you can see some various shrines. You see like a broad, grounded stone altar to Turbis. You see a smaller, but like very lovingly maintained hearthside shrine to Shione, the goddess of language and craft and innovation. And you see like around especially the gnomish little houses and workshops, these little carved tokens left all over the place into door frames, on railing posts for Oasis, for Nenna, the goddess of magic, for all of their little gods and goddesses that they worship themselves. And the whole city is just humming with this resonance of metal being shaped and carved and etched and reforged, and somewhere inside that volcano, forged in the 1st century after the Dionic Wars, touched by primordial blessing, tempered by the hands of both giant and gnome, there's a legendary forge burning away, constantly creating new wonders for Dion. So, welcome to Barrock Forge. How are you going to go about finding your friend Seraphina?
This is a lot more lively than I was expecting.
Well, it's still a very functioning civilization here. What were you expecting?
I guess just a forge. It's in the name, right? And a whole bustling city. It's pretty impressive.
From
Go ahead.
I was going to ask, Kara, from where we are, we can see the people, right? Like giants and gnomes all run around.
Yeah, the way the city's laid out, you can tell the city proper that's like actually built into it on the volcano is sort of like tiered, it would seem, into some different sections that are connected through these like crossing like back switches and everything. But around the base of the volcano, you've got like essentially just like outlying village, like the kind you would find around like a large walled castle city in like a medieval castle, keep kind of thing. So you're down like sort of in the town, so you can easily just sort of walk amongst the citizens here.
Okay. Are there other species, races here aside from just gnomes and giants?
You look around, and while it is very, very, very much mostly gnomes and giants, you see like a table sitting, like a couple people sitting, like human-sized people. You see like a human and maybe like a half-elf sitting on these little tiny gnome chairs, like an adult at the little kids' table at Thanksgiving, having tea at a little gnomish workshop. But other than those two, like you see almost no one who's not a giant or a gnome.
Okay. And just for our kind of perception of things, how tall are giants in Dion?
Giants are considered huge. These ones you see walking around are anywhere from like the smaller range would be like 9-10 foot for like the youngsters, like teenagers, all the way up to like you can see some who are maybe approaching like 20-25 feet tall.
Okay. It's pretty big.
And you see mostly like stone giants, a couple fire giants walking around as well.
So different races of giants are here?
Yeah, it would appear so. You even see like a cloud giant is walking alongside a stone giant, chit-chatting.
And so we arrive in the teleportation circle already in the city?
Essentially, yeah, you're like on like a small like side road. It looks like this teleportation circle like was placed in a spot where they frequently use teleportation circles. Like it's marked with like a stone sort of pillared arch, and you see a couple others scattered around this. Essentially, like you're in the like outskirt farmland villages of the mountain. So not quite city proper, but down in the surrounding farmland around the mountain that would be like feeding the actual inhabitants.
Okay.
It's the commuter's parking lot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the ride share. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was like, would Killian be able to tell if this is like, is it a very commonly used place, or is it like only certain individuals would know how to get here? Because we know like teleportation's a thing, but is this like hop on the train and we'll get to this teleportation station over here where everyone can access it? Or
why don't you all roll an investigation check and try and figure that out? Is this
Right.
a well-traveled sort of teleportation area?
Can I make an Arcana check for that instead?
Yeah, absolutely.
ooh, dirty 20.
Dirty. Oh, good one.
Merry
Mhm.
Christmas.
Happy, hot, frosty.
Happy
And
hot
that
frosty.
one.
And that one, that's
for a
dirty too, and
total
a not
of
fun one.
6.
Ooh, that is not sexy.
I have a dirty one.
A dirty
Oh.
one.
Wow.
I have a negative one.
You should have told us
Your
before
modifier.
stream.
I've never been so turned on and then so turned off in my life.
I do what I can.
Okay, so most of you are just like, wow, cool, Volcano City. Killian, though, with that hot, filthy 20, you kind of, did you do Arcana or Investigation?
Investigation.
Okay. Yeah, you immediately look down at, like, where the teleportation circle is fading, and you can see, like, it's pretty overgrown here between these two pillars, and though you can see, like, some of the grass sort of, like, quickly, like, burned off with the arcane energy in the, like, sort of shape of the teleportation sigil, it's so overgrown, it doesn't look like another teleportation circle with, like, a different sort of arcane rune on the ground has been used, like, super recently. But you can very clearly see the one you just came through has burnt, and that's visibly burnt out of the grass. But the grass is pretty tall here. Like, it's pretty overgrown. It doesn't look like it's been, like, treaded through. You're looking for signs of, like, people walking through, people constantly using these stone pillars. It's grassy. There's bugs all over the place. The farmland is, like, super rich, so that stuff is being, like, actively tilled and maintained by different farmers and ranchers. But in this particular little sort of clearing, yeah, there's not much sign of people coming and going.
Okay. Well, should we get a little bit deeper into the city proper?
Well, they are searching for us, so if we do go into the city, I suggest we make ourselves small a little bit. Because they know what we look like.
Well, I can help with that. And we're gonna cast Pass Without Trace.
All right.
That must
So for any stealth checks, you guys are gonna add a 10 to your rolls. So that'll be handy.
And did we grab like some cloaks and stuff like that? Did we grab stuff like that? I'm pretty sure
I
we
do
did.
remember you guys talking about you wanted to grab some of the cloaks off of the dead cultists who attacked
Yeah.
you. So you could feasibly don some of those. They're like pretty straight size. Maybe Bula would have some trouble, but they are like large, like almost monk cloaks. So they are like just basically like draped circles of fabric, essentially, with big old hoods. So she could very possibly find one that looks quasi normal, but it would be hard to hide that she's an orc woman at that. You
She's
notice that
trying
all
to
the-
like pull it around herself and just like
yeah, it's hard to like close it in the front.
she buttons it and immediately pops open.
Yeah. Check and make sure you're not radiant. It's just normal.
Did Varmox come with us, or did he stay there? I know Benji came with us.
Yeah, Benji came through with you guys. I think you wanted to send I don't remember exactly off the top of my head now. I
Varmox
think you
stayed
guys
with the
wanted to
boat.
send Varmox with the boat. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you wanted them to meet you in the bay or here or
That's
something.
right. That's right.
Just
okay.
in case we needed a quick exit.
Right on.
And I believe Dark Down is with him as well.
Mhm.
Cool.
and a crew of some druids.
Let's don some robes. Get to exploring.
Yeah, let's get in
And
a little
there
bit.
are only 4 of you, and you certainly killed more than 4 cultists, so you do each have a robe. How well it fits and how well it hides little goat legs from Mr. Marway, questionable, but you guys have passed without trace, so you can make it work.
I mean, I'm pretty short, so I would imagine it goes all the way to the ground.
Yeah.
And I'll just poke little holes for my horns, and I'll look like a little tiefling.
Cute. Okay, that works. Okay. Yeah, and you guys head into the city, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So you are in disguise and you have passed without trace. So let me ask, are you guys like stealthing, like really trying not to be seen, or are you walking through like you own the place? Or like you're supposed to be there?
I think
What do you think?
like we're supposed to be here, right? Because if somebody sees us wearing the robes, they say, "Oh, what are you doing? You know, the meeting's at 3:00. Get to it." And we can ask them. But yeah, so we just walk in like we own the place. I think that's my vote anyway.
Yeah, maybe not like straight down the center, but like, you know, like off to the left of the pathway or something like that.
Blending, not hiding.
Yeah, casually to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In plain view,
I think
stage right.
I feel like the more inconspicuous species might be able to pull that one off, but I feel like I'm probably gonna have to stay more of the actual trying to hide side of things because I will draw attention.
And Killian, you were kind of keeping an eye on Glitterbell. How would you like her to proceed? Are you just walking her
God.
alongside you?
Oh god, Glitterbell.
Dog-sized, German Shepherd-sized dragonling.
Ugh.
Maybe should sneak. I forgot about the dragon.
How yeah, while we're kind of approaching, like, do we see horses coming to and from the city?
Not so much horses. You see these large, like, imagine like the body and shape of a woolly mammoth, but like those naked cats instead. Like this climate is far too warm for a woolly mammoth, so these are like anti-woolly mammoths. Bald mammoths.
Terrifying.
So you see like a paddock of these guys, like a big open field and like a massive barn, giant-sized barn, where these guys are being like ranched, essentially, raised and ranched like a horse. And then you also see like miniature ponies. You pass like a little gnomish farmstead, where you see like a miniature pony pulling like some kind of mechanical half wood, half copper till along their farm fields.
Okay. Killian. No, but Killian. I know Glitterbell's not going to be a fan, so he's going to try to explain to Glitterbell as best he can. Like, hey, Glitterbell, don't freak out. I gotta. And he'll take out like a rope and like, I gotta tie this around you, and like.
Starts biting at the rope.
I gotta like guide you through this place. This is not a fun jaunt like Seraphina takes you on. I need to. It's like we gotta be focused, okay? You're part of this path without trace. We need you.
She sort of like responds and straightens up a little to the name Seraphina when you mention her, and begrudgingly allows you to kind of rope her up.
That's right, Seraphina loves doing this. You'll like tie a rope around like her neck. They're not like super tight or anything, but it's like 2 finger lengths in the collar there.
Like a good animal owner, you do not take your dog off leash if they're not good at the dog park. They have no good recall.
Yeah, this Glitterbell has 0 recall. I'm almost certain of it.
Okay. So you've got a leashed up little pseudo dragon, and the rest of you looking like quasi blending in monks of some kind. So you head up toward the city. Let me sort of set the scene for you. You can tell me what direction you want to head in. So I've given you sort of a picturesque description of Barrock, but as you approach and you guys are all sort of taking in the actual mountain city itself, you note that, like I said, it's sort of tiered in its organization. Starting at the bottom of the mountain, you've got this lower city entrance where you can tell like the farmsteads very quickly turn into like very dense housing. This is where you see all these like massive hexagonal sort of slab buildings of the giants with all these little gnomish like 10 gnome story tall apartments sort of like shoved in between, just stacked up on top of each other, in the space in between these giant buildings. You see it, it does have this like stone gate, sort of like rampart system, this sort of wall situation, walling off the city proper from the farmland outside the sort of villages. But the gates, it has many, many, many gates, and they're all pretty well open. It doesn't seem like there's like much of a threat of like invasion or security issues here. This place, you guys know, it's known for being pretty private. They do a lot of trade and things, but they take things out of the city for trading. They don't have people really come here unless it's an especially like special circumstance. So a lot of these gates are open. There's not a lot in terms of like security papers being checked, because strangers are easy to spot here. If you're not a gnome or a giant, someone might stop you and question you, but the gates are open. You can see there's like some markets down where you're sort of just in the foothills of this mountain. Beautiful, like big, like blacksmith market. Lots of different things. Like you see stalls selling raw ore and stonework things, and like beautiful, massive statues, big old woodworking tools and stoneworking tools made for giant hands. You see some gnome booths selling each other little inventions and gadgets and clockwork animals and trying to like teach each other their newest techniques. And you see there's just like street food being sold here. Bula, you notice there's like some fire-grilled mushrooms being made. You can smell like molten melted chocolate somewhere nearby. And you see that most of the people have like a general thing at like every stall is like this rock salt bread, like big old like hunkin' loaves. For like a giant, it would be like a dinner roll. For the gnomes, it's like a big old French baguette. This like sturdy, almost like white in color bread. You see some like steps then going up in a crossback, further up into the next terrace of the city. That next terrace, looking from below, you can kind of see the signs of less like sort of living spaces like you see on the first terrace. The middle terrace is sort of looks like workshops and actual industry, like where people would go for their day-to-day working. And then the higher terrace, more or less up by the caldera and within the forge itself. You can see the massive, like I said, the big opening, the doors to the Barrock Great Forge. It's like this big like temple foundry combination. And then there's not much else to be seen like outside of the mountain up that high on the caldera. No one lives up there really. That is just the seat of power here essentially, and the best forge in the city. So how high are we trying to go? How are we going through those gates? Anywhere in particular you want to go? You're facing like, you know, one edge of this massive mountain. You could feasibly like circumvent the mountain, but it looks so big that it would probably take you like 2 days to make it all the way around the backside of the mountain. And you know, based on just like those of you who know like basic geography, this mountain is pretty close to the coast, and you're approaching from like the south side of the mountain, and it's on the northern coast of the continent.
Well, I definitely think that we might have to, like, fuel up before we fight.
You hungry, Bullet?
I mean, can you smell that stuff? She just, like, takes a whole corner of her robe and just, like, wipes all the drool off her face. It's just, like, dripping off the edge of the robe. She's like, I mean, molten chocolate. Does anything else really need to be said?
Maybe we can get some more.
Normally, I would agree with you, but Seraphina's life is in danger at the moment. I think we need to focus on that.
Well, of course. You know, I just wanted to make sure we were well fueled and ready to fight for her life.
You may need to resort to your backpack snacks. Oh wait, we don't have that anymore, do we?
We
Killian,
don't
why did you
have
bring it
any
up?
Oh my!
snacks.
I'm so sorry.
You know she's sensitive about that.
I think Benji just like produces a couple good berries for you, and he's like, "I'll stop when I can, Miss Bula, to grab you something to eat."
She takes the good berries, kind of pops in her mouth, and just like chews on them, kind of like gum. Like,
Yeah, they're not the most satisfying thing, but you feel good.
all right, well, let's not like destroy this place or get in too much trouble, because I want some of
No.
that food coming out.
Yeah, we want to be as inconspicuous as possible. I want to get in a little bit deeper into the city. It's quite a large place. I have my magic that can help us locate things, but this place is huge. Who knows where they could be keeping her? So I want to try and get the best area of effect if I can.
See, I'm trying to think back to what Dark Down said she saw in her vision. In my head, it feels like she said that they were under the forge. Was that said? Does anybody else remember that?
In the mountain? Yeah.
That is
Like
correct.
inside the mountain. Okay. So maybe we just head there first. Try to get as close to, the area that they might be, and then we'll trigger that.
Yeah, I mean, good a place as any to start.
To the
Okay.
forge.
Okay. I'll have you do a couple checks here if you're just trying to go straight, and you would know, like, if you're trying to get into the forge itself, that entrance is up in the 3rd terrace, so you've got to trek up this mountain to go through the city, essentially. That being said, let's do a couple different checks here. So you're going to go in through, like, the outer city gates at the base of the mountain. As I said, they are relatively unguarded. No one's really checking papers, but you're just trying to look like you are just passing by and you're supposed to be here. So I'll let you guys choose who wants to roll it, but I need someone to make a luck check to see if anybody stops you at the gates or at this lower part of the city.
I'm gonna probably maybe assume Killian's kind of near the middle to back with Glitterbell. So I don't know who's kind of in front, but I vote Eidos nonetheless.
What do I roll for a luck check?
You're just gonna roll
Just
a
the D20.
D20. Yep.
Just D20? Okay. I was like, ooh.
Don't mess it up.
You should have said it faster.
No.
Oh
Oh,
god,
no.
I'm
Never-
not this.
never again.
Dirty tonight. Tell
You're
me
right,
what
Killian,
the
I
20s
should.
are.
Do we remember the last fight, Dane? Do we remember who was in the puddle the whole time?
All time.
Some say I'm still in that puddle. In a way.
To this day. Okay, yeah. Immediately once you guys get through this first gate, you try and go through as much of a side gate as you can. These massive giant-sized gates in this giant-sized brick wall. Two little gnomes come tottering over to you guys. They bow deeply, a little bit reverently. But roll an insight check if you'd like to on these two.
Oh, another dirty 20. What's happening?
Nice.
28.
4.
I'm sorry,
16.
27. I can't do basic math.
Okay. These two, they bow reverently. Who had the highest roll there?
I had
Marway.
what'd you have, Marway? Yeah.
I had a 27.
Yeah, Marway, you can distinctly recognize some fear and just shake, almost trembling with fear as they bow to you all. But one of them stands up and not looking any of you in the eyes, not wanting to look under the hoods, says, it has been some time since anybody saw you in the lower terrace. Do you need escort to inside the forge?
Yes, we do. Take us now.
Yes.
Okay, roll deception with advantage.
Okay.
I'm intimidated.
Me too.
Okay, either or. Jesus Christ. 17 though.
17. Okay. They sort of have a very hushed, quiet, high-pitched conversation between the two of them, and one of them sort of I will take my leave and runs off, and the other one says, okay, Well, the last of your order asked to circumvent the Thane's workshop. Do you also need to do so?
Of course.
Okay, yep, that makes sense. Okay, we will do that. I think he's here today. Hopefully we don't come across him. Okay, okay, let's go. This is, like, clearly, like, just barely better than a farmer, and seem very intimidated by you all, very intimidated by this whole situation. Marway, you recognize that they seem, like they don't want to be doing what they're about to do. They feel like guilty about it. This little gnome guy.
Marway feels bad that we're scaring these people, but sometimes you gotta scare people. So I think he's gonna, like, kind of reach into his bag a little bit and pull out his snail shell teeth and kind of put those in so his teeth look sharp.
Okay.
Just for a little bit of intimidation.
roll a sleight of hand check, and with your pass without trace, roll it with advantage. So I know that's not technically how it works, but you're trying to do this without them seeing that you're using fake teeth.
It was a dirty 20 with advantage. It was a 4 without.
dirty rolls tonight. Okay. Yeah, you're able to very quickly put them in and, like, give them, like, a grimace, a smile. You can tell he's, like, trying not to pee himself at this point. He's so unhappy. You can tell he feels forced to be doing what you guys are asking of him. But that sort of kicks him into high gear, and he, like, looks up at the city and starts, like, like, a bad Scooby-Doo scene, like, trying to, like, dart and hide behind a barrel, and then, like, scooting along a wall, clearly in plain sight, like a very, very bad child trying to be a spy, but leading you up into the city. And you guys are just, like, following behind as he, like, pokes his head around corners to see who's coming and flags you forward and then says, "Stop! Okay, go!" And tries to get you guys through the city without someone seeing you. You can't really tell who this little gnome is avoiding, and he said the Thane. That's all you got.
Also, he gets the pass without trace as well, because he's someone that I'm choosing.
Okay, so even though he's very bad at being sneaky, no one sees him leading you through the streets.
He's doing great.
So your luck roll ended up being quite lucky for you guys, because you've convinced this little guy to help get you through the city, apparently in the same way that maybe someone else who looked like you did initially. So it takes you a good long while to get up this mountain through the city. There are some streets that cut, like, into the mountain to, like, these more internal, like, almost like mall layout, like large hallways with all these different offshoot rooms and forges and shops. And you hear lots and lots and lots. The noise is unbelievable when you're inside the mountain of hammers clanging and tiny little tools winding and ticking, all these, like, steam pipes going off. There are, in fact, like, glass pipes that you can see hot magma running through, and then there's, like, large fountains of water, like cold water, hot water running all over the place. It is crazy loud, smells like sulfur, but you are moving sometimes in the city, sometimes out on these terraces carved along the outside of the mountain, but always going ever higher. And eventually you come to you're on the outside of the mountain again, and you come close to the entrance of the Great Forge Temple, but he sort of leads you over to this sort of, like, side entrance a few, like, city blocks away, essentially, and sends you down, or opens these, like, large stone double doors, and pokes his head in and looks around and says, okay, I think Thorgun is, occupied at the moment, which is good, so gonna want to go through fast, and your companions are in the spot where he kind of looks at you all again and sort of, like, glances under one of your hoods. Let me see whose. It glances under Killian's hood and looks away quickly and says, in the spot where you are all working.
Killian, seeing him look at him, is like, "We know where to go. get out of here.
Okay, sorry, and like bows and leaves, bowing, like not even turning away from you all until he's well out of sight and going back down the mountain. And leaves you guys inside, essentially inside the mountain, near the Great Forge, in a side hall.
All right. Well, that guy was weird.
And this appears to be like a gnomish sort of section. It's not one of the great halls that you've seen in passing going up and through the mountain. You know, this is like a very gnomish, like most of you have to squat down regardless of how small you are. And Bula's just like, just about like busting out of the coat metaphorically in this hallway.
Well, the Union must have been here a while to have such an impact on some of the citizens here.
Maybe we should try to figure out who this Thorgun is. He might be a worthy ally.
Not someone to avoid completely.
Well, if you're a cultist, you might want to avoid him, but, you know, as long as he could aid us in locating these people and taking them out. I don't know, we don't know how many there are down there, after all.
That's true. Do we need to ditch the hoods then?
What do you two think?
I don't know. If we ditch the hoods, then we're just walking in there all barren as ourselves, and I don't know, if we're trying to get into the place where the Union cultists were, wouldn't we want to kind of look like them?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, if we're trying to get information about Thorgun, you know, we'd have to probably talk to some of the locals who don't seem too, well, at least that guy was, don't seem too keen on speaking with people that look like we do right now.
True. Sheep don't often want to talk to the wolves, but I guess if we're not going straight into where the cultists are, then maybe we put the robes where we can come back to them.
You know, it's bad when I keep forgetting you guys don't have the bag of holding right now. Keep being like, dang, that really is handy.
No kidding.
Should have taken it away a long time ago.
Bula, like, at least 750 times already has reached
for it
to try to get a snack, and it's just not there. She gets more sad every single time. Okay.
We could just shove them in our backpacks for now, I'm sure.
So we're here, we're in the forge, but we're not going to find the cultists yet?
Well, we were just deliberating to see if this Thorgun individual might be worth talking to beforehand, but I mean, time is of the essence. Should we just push forward?
I mean, it's a question of timeliness or knowledge, right? We don't know what's going to be waiting for us in there. It's a balancing act, as all things are. But if you prefer to push forward, then let's push forward. I'm as anxious to save Seraphina as all of us, any of us are.
I'm ready for whatever we find. And she just, like, rubs her axe.
All right.
Marla?
I'm fine with whatever you want to do.
Are you sure, Marway? Did any reservations about the idea?
I mean, on one hand, we can make another friend, possibly. And on the other hand, we go and we beat up a bunch of mean people.
We are good at that.
Kind of seems like a win-win no matter what we choose.
Unless he's not a friend, and he's just another enemy, and then we've got even more mean people to beat up.
Well, anybody who's hunting cultists is a friend of mine. But you're right, we don't know if he thinks the same way.
Benji says, well, if we need like a compromise here, which is something I'm always partial to, and we want to know some information but keep it moving as far as getting to Seraphina. I don't have a lot of higher level spells, but I was preparing myself for this last night, and I could scry on this person now that we've heard his name. See if I can get anything on him.
Oh,
Oh,
holding out on
perfect.
us.
What was that?
So holding out on us with these magic of yours.
Well, it is, mind you, it is my only time that I can cast a spell of this magnitude, and I have some other stuff that might come in handy if we fancy ourselves getting into a fight. But if it's important, I mean, this person could either make or break us getting to Seraphina or getting her out of here. They're either a powerful ally or a powerful enemy. I feel like maybe we should know.
Let's take a peek.
Yeah, I feel like the information is worth it.
Okay, well, I know a name. I know that they must be here in the city, so that helps me. Though I've never met this person, let me give it a shot. And he kind of sits down and he says, "Is it okay? It's gonna take me just about 10 minutes. Do we feel safe here?"
Ados looks around and decides, based on the
this
visual
appears
information.
to be like a lot of storage spaces, like old junk rooms. This is the junk drawer of the big forge.
Oh yeah, just hide behind a crate.
Okay. Okay, so he is going to sit down, and the target of this spell actually rolls a save, so I'm going to roll it as the target. With some modifications, because he knows a name, but not much else. Okay, that is a failed wisdom saving throw from the target, Thorgun. So 10 minutes pass, and eventually Benji's eyes go sort of like when someone like looks into the distance and their eyes kind of go two different directions. But then they turn bright white. You can see
As they're
Arcane.
separating to different directions, Morroway's just like nudging at Booled. He's like, "Isn't he dreamy?"
And she's like, what's wrong with his eyes?
Okay. He starts sort of narrating what he's seeing after his eyes glow white. He says, "All right, well, we probably could have guessed this guy's a stone giant. He's in, I mean, a big old giant forge. He is standing near these two, like, statues of giants, both holding these big old weapons. Different forges around, tools. He's talking to someone. Hold on." He kind of listens for a couple minutes. Says he's talking to a little gnome lady. And, they're alone otherwise. They both look worried. He listens for a little bit. Oh, the little one, the gnome lady. Her name's Urbessa. That's what he just called her. She's worried. She's admitting to him. She's kind of like confessing to him that she thinks someone is messing with some of her engineers, or her engineers went missing. Something about a latchkey collective. Some people she works with gone missing, and she doesn't know why, but she's just now telling him, and he looks mad. He listens for a little bit longer. He says, these are the leaders of this city. These two are like it. She looks like, an inventor or something, and he's just a big old stone giant. I don't know how else to describe him, but he's got all kinds of regalia, turbis stuff on his robes. And he sort of comes out of it. He says, "Yeah, those two are the leaders of the city, and they're worried about something that's happening here. And there's a handful of people gone missing from the gnomes."
All right, well, I think it would be in our best interest to maybe speak with these individuals if we're able to get their ear privately.
Sounds like he has some resources that we could that could come handy if we're going further into the forge, fighting cultists and such.
Benji, would you have been able to decipher where we are needing to go?
Like to find Seraphina?
To find the forge. Like, which forge were they at?
Oh, I mean, it looked grand. It was like more of a temple than a forge, though it was a working forge. It was like surrounded by lava. It was like this big floating platform. I can only assume that's got to be like the big one, right? The big Barrock Forge, whatever y'all have been saying. I mean, unless all their forges are that fancy, this thing was like plated in gold, basically. So we got to be nearby if that's nearabouts where that little gnome was taking us.
Okay, well, let's maybe find the best route to get to this place. If need be, I guess we can shake down some of these gnomes for directions.
Okay. How long does Pass Without Trace last? An hour or 10 minutes? I can never remember.
Hour.
An hour, cool. So, you're probably coming up on like 40-ish minutes to get up to this part of the city earlier with that little gnome. So you've probably got a good 20 minutes left on that Pass Without a Trace. So that being said, you guys sneaking around, you want to do an investigation check trying to find that forge while doing some stealth rolls?
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably a good idea.
We need to get there.
Yep. So those of you doing some more of the investigating can do that, and I'm gonna have everybody roll a stealth roll.
Alright, investigation first. Oh,
You could also roll like survival, technically, to try and find a place.
Okay, survival is way better than investigation.
Keeping your sense of direction, knowing which hallways you've gone down, which don't make sense when you're getting closer to the inside of the volcano versus the outside. Because
yeah.
you know you're searching for a room full of lava.
Oh, heavens. Wait,
Yep.
do we still have plus 10 on our stealth?
Uh-huh.
You do still have plus 10 on your
Thank the
stealth.
Lord we do.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay.
That's good.
So,
Whatever.
so survival I got a 16.
Okay.
For the investigation, Killing got a 10. And then for stealth, right? You said the stealth?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever 17 plus 7 is. 24.
Okay.
I snagged a 19 for survival. And with the help of Pass Without Trace, we grabbed a real smooth 13. With these
I love
quality
Pass Without
hooks.
Trace.
My stealth is also a 13 with my nice little nat 1 that I rolled on that.
I mean, the exhaustion's really getting me this session.
Okay. And then Eidos, what did you say yours were both? Your investigation? Or...
On my survival, I got a filthy 20.
Beautiful.
And
30.
a natural 1 on
Another?
another one.
What is happening?
Another one. I suck
It
at
is
stealth.
only dirty
I
20s
hate
and
these
nat
things.
1s tonight. You guys are so
I
screwed.
just want to point
I have to
out
use
that
spotlight.
this is the person we chose for our luck roll.
Never again. You'll never be lucky ever again.
I love this game. All your dice are cursed tonight. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, so thank goodness Pass Without Trace exists, because those would have been abysmal otherwise, but with especially Eidos' help with that dirty 20, you guys are able to pretty much remain undetected. This appears to not be like the actual industrial center of the city, but more of a ceremonial where the big guns are made and kept and stored and created by the biggest and the baddest of them. So a little bit more restricted as far as the population. For some of those really good survivals, Killian, Bula, I think you rolled the highest there. Yeah, between the two of you, Bula is really able to help. I don't know, Bula knows a little bit about a mountain. She's from mountain range. She knows a little bit about feeling that sort of pressure of being further underground than outside of ground, or being up higher than lower. So you're able to keep your guys' sense of direction going and knowing which way to go for a room full of magma. Killian, you're able to sort of read movement of people even when there's not people moving around you. You know how the flow of these hallways would have been built even long ago. And the signs of use versus less used areas. So between the two of you, you're able to really help get the rest of the gang. And you come to a point where these little gnomish side hallways open up into larger, grand, think like Norse mythology, like the Hall of Thor and Hela, just big old grand halls for feasting, just hallways upon hallways of like old ancient giant glittering statues of different weapons and giants of old. just halls and halls that are very ceremonial, very like temple worshipful areas. Pretty quiet, besides like just the general like roaring din of the mountain itself. And you can kind of tell every one of these like larger ceremonial halls is sort of built on a layout of spokes around what would be a central room, a central forge, cavern, whatever you might call it. And you can tell that just proceeding a little bit further into the mountain that direction will get you into the Grand Forge. That is your prerogative how you want to approach that, if you want to at all.
We
is
just
there
busting in and saying, "Hey, we need
Might
help."
as well kick the door down. That seems to be our style.
well, maybe not kick the door in. How about that? Let's maybe just gently push the door open and go inside.
Bua like pauses with her leg like up in a kickstand. She's like, okay.
Oh, no.
We are guests.
Yes. We don't want to spook these people. We're trying to help them.
But we are in a sense of urgency. That's why we said I couldn't stop and have snacks.
Remember?
Remember Killian?
That exact thing being said, as you guys are figuring out how you're going in this door, as you're approaching it through one of these great open halls, a smaller door built within the larger giant size door opens, and Benji goes, "Oh, that's her." Like quickly looks away, and this little gnome woman with these like bright orange poofball pigtails, holding a bunch of different like sort of like very beautifully made leather satchels and I can't think of the word for them, like holsters for not weapons but tools, all these different sort of accoutrements for an inventor and engineer, but all beautifully made and like etched with different symbols and sigils. Comes out the door and sort of stops short when she sees you all standing here in the hallway in these robes. Wait, did you take off your robes?
We did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or at least I did.
Yeah. Sees your motley crew with a little dragon standing in this great hall looking quite out of place, and she says, "Oh, Thorgon, we have company."
Hello.
She goes over to the wall and like pushes in this large brick, and the actual double massive giant doors that she can't physically open herself because they're so big just automatically swing out and open, and you have this view, this like bright orange light, and this wave of heat just like washes through the ceremonial hall toward you from behind her, and you see almost like from the blinding light you see the silhouette of a giant, rather lean, well-garbed, comes out from the room and approaches you all in the hall. "We have company. Different kind of company, and no word of any particular envoys." And he sort of looks you all over and looks back at Urbessa and says, "They were just here in the hall?" They were just here in the hall. I know as much as you do. I just came out of the forge." He says, "Have you spoken to Bashtor? Does he know?" That man. If he's here, I need to have a word with him. "Small ones, welcome. Who are you? Why have you come?"
Kind of nudge Killian forward.
Oh, okay. Hello, yes. My name is Killian Sodriff. I am a member of the Protectorate of Oasis, and I was hoping that we would be able to have a look around at this giant hall, a private conversation about what I believe to be some nefarious individuals that have infiltrated your city.
Urbessa says, "Ha!" And he says, Urbessa, calm." She says, sorry. "Ah! Interesting." She sort of looks you all over. She's sort of like taking like mental stock, you can tell, of all the little different pieces of weaponry and cloaks and arcane items that you guys have. Just sort of seems interested in the stuff you've got. As she takes you all in, that's sort of her way of measuring you all as people, while he just very thoughtfully nods. "A private word, it would be wise if you think you have information for us. Please. Follow me, and we can go on."
we think we might have the same thorn in our britches. We're hoping that you have information for us as well.
Information is something we do love to share here. You may join me in my hall. Come. And he closes the large double doors behind him and sort of leads you down a different direction, further away from the forge. But it's not far. He takes you into his personal hall. It's just this like cavernous sort of like lodge within the mountain. Looks very much like a ski lodge. Like it's super cozy, big roaring fireplace. There's like a big old piping hot cup of coffee next to a coffee pot sitting on a table. Looks like he hadn't left it long, or it's somehow magically enchanted to stay hot or something. It's still like clearly steaming coffee. Smells delicious. Leads you in. It's like beautifully carpeted, big tapestries hanging on the wall showing like a big mountain range. And he goes over and sits in one of his like giant benches, and Urbessa very, very quickly is trying to keep up with you all. It seems like the gnomes here are pretty well accustomed to just like sprinting everywhere to keep up with the longer strides of the giants.
Great
and even
cardio.
you guys have to like fast walk. Yeah, his slow walking is speedy for you guys to keep up with. But yeah, she seems quite energetic and follows you all in. And she herself like climbs up this little ladder and sits on this like essentially high chair so that she's at like even the level of his coffee table, basically. And you guys have the choice of like standing or trying to fit on gnomish or giant furniture, however you want to make yourselves comfortable. He seems like he looks around a bit and is like, I apologize, we don't often have outsiders as guests, but please make yourself comfortable as you see fit.
We thank you for your hospitality, but time is of the essence for us, so I think it's best to get down to brass tacks.
Yes.
We have been in pursuit of some individuals that wear garb similar to this, and Killian will pull out the cloaks that are of the Union in his bag.
Says, may I?
Of course,
Yes.
of course.
He sort of holds it up and runs the cloth as he listens through his fingers.
We've been in pursuit of these individuals. They have one of our compatriots with them, and you may not believe this, but we were just hours ago, we're on the eastern continent, and we followed them through a teleportation circle that led us to your fine city. When we approached the city gates, we encountered a few gnomish individuals that were quite scared of this uniform, which leads me to believe that there might be people from this group in this city. Has anything strange been going on in your city? Anything of concern or note that may have just happened quite recently?
You can see he had handed partially through your talking. He had handed sort of sniffed at the robe, looked at it, shrugged, handed it off to Urbessa, who has immediately pulled out like a seam ripper and is just like essentially shredding the seams, like unfolding the layers, checking it and its structure for any possible sign of anything. So she's like tampering with this thing as you guys are talking, but she's nodding. And he says, well, I have had my own concerns of recent. Nothing I was for sure about until Urbessa and I started putting two and two together just today, but I have been wondering about... There are tools that have been moved in the Great Forge that I have not touched, and I am... Forgive me for my rude introduction. I am the Forge Lord of Barrock. I am the one who has the ability to use the Grand Forge itself. So, if things move in there without me knowing, it's either me or Urbessa, and we've both discovered today that it has been neither of us. Now, nothing that I've known has gone missing, but Urbessa has recently, as far as this hour, told me that things have not gone missing, but indeed people that we are concerned for. And Urbessa still looking at and seam ripping this cloak apart and looking for any possible hidden pockets or anything in the lining. And even like pulling it, like at this point she's just like pulling at a loose thread and just like keeps unraveling this thing. She says, yes, well, I was hoping that they were just maybe visiting a local library or doing some research, but my apprentices have been gone a fortnight. And he says, and a fortnight ago, you probably could have told me that they left. And she says, well, no one told me, and I trust them to do their jobs. So, hindsight's 20/20, but here we are. They have been gone a fortnight. I have not had word of them, and I am quite concerned something nefarious happened. So if you have a friend who's been taken and brought here, well, I can't imagine why they would take my people and take them elsewhere. But what do you know about these characters wearing these cloaks?
Well, we know that they are on the hunt for magical artifacts, powerful magical artifacts. Artifacts that could indeed change the face of Dion for the worse if they were put into the wrong hands. What else we got? Look around, look at.
That are pretty bad people.
What else we got?
Durgan says, well, this is a place of nothing but magical artifacts. We giants do the forging, and our gnomish counterparts do arcane tinkering, and therefore we have created some of the most dangerous and well-loved and, well, world-changing weapons that have existed. In fact, long before my time and long before even our society formed, this place, I should say, was known to be the birthplace of a few weapons of, without different phrasing, godly ability. Now, that's almost myth, but his gaze sort of like lingers over that roaring fireplace above the mantle. There's a big wooden rack holding a large hammer. It's not giant sized. It looks like it could be wielded by someone strong for sure, but it doesn't have to be wielded by a giant necessarily. But this big, beautifully made, almost new looking hammer is mounted above the fireplace. And his gaze comes back to you all and says, now, if you know of this group that is seeking out magical weapons, I will not lie to you and say that these things don't exist and that we don't know of some. It is our longest and oldest duty to protect this knowledge and make sure that, well, weapons can be both a tool and a curse. So we take very seriously who is able to utilize anything that comes from our forge. So if they are trying to get their hands on these things without people knowing, without us knowing, that is of great concern to me.
Well, and he'll gesture over to Mbessa. Some of your apprentices have been gone for quite a little while. It could be possible that they are utilizing your apprentices to craft magical items for their own needs.
Yes, that is the obvious conclusion, I think, after this conversation and all the pieces being put together by each of us. I feel quite foolish for not having gone to the collective mind and trying to figure things out myself. I know better than that, but hindsight's 20/20. So, if this is happening and my people are gone, then yes, I would imagine if someone wanted someone who knows what we know about crafting magical items, then my Latchkey Collective would be the ones to do it.
Now, are there any forges in the city that are inactive or not regularly used? Perhaps maybe some that have been inactive for quite a long time, that, if someone wanted to build objects out of sight from people, is there anything quite like that in the city?
All the forges are well and actively used and well loved by the people. There are none that I know of, but that being said, the mountain runs deep, deeper than we have access to. Even us gnomes who can squeeze into the oldest mines. There are spaces, caverns, lava flows that have opened up massive cubicles and rooms that we've left alone, so I can't say that there's not a space that could be utilized without our knowledge, but as far as active forges go, with the supplies and the materials needed, I don't know of any that aren't monitored well, that I myself have not visited looking for my collective, even within the past few weeks.
Well, we do have magic that can help us probably find the location of these people, but would you happen to have any extra reinforcements that we could count on to assist us in such a raid, especially if they're being a thorn in your side as well?
She finally looks up from the robe and just sort of smiles up at Thorgun, and he like grins and shakes his head and says, "It's been some time since I myself raised an axe as opposed to welded it, but I can't say I'm out of practice that badly." And Urbessa, while she defers to me as the warrior, I've known her to scrap a time or two during heated debates. She says, "My little tools are sharp." It sort of looks a little crazy. He says, "I hesitate to do anything that would compromise the city or the forge, but if you call for aid, I will answer, and I will rouse the giants if needed."
Of course, we would want to leave your city with we don't want to draw attention to ourselves, to our investigation. We want to find these individuals rather discreetly, and if we are able to eliminate them discreetly without causing any sort of panic within the city. But we do not know their numbers. We do not know, we unfortunately do not know a lot of things about, their dealings here in your city. We were just recently discovered that they were here. But if we can take care of this quietly, I'm sure that would be in both of our best interests.
We are not a city of panic. We are a people of knowledge and of neutrality. So, do you have any clue if these actors are of a certain state? We cannot engage in anything that would be considered an act of war.
Well, we do not believe that they have any sort of political leanings, if that's what you're concerned of.
Politics are beyond us and what we care for. We care for the betterment and the knowledge of all people, so not a political worry. It's our ability to supply Dion and all of its people equally and without prejudice. If we were to compromise that with any one nation or state, then I would be concerned. But if you feel that they are not aligned with any one particular nation or people, then you may call upon us if it comes to a fight that you think you cannot win.
Well, they do side with Emperor Orin, who though has been missing for some time. Work for him.
He's been long dead for years. What do you mean?
They
worship him like some god?
Essentially, yes. They've basically act in his honor.
Strange. Well, I suppose a long dead emperor doesn't mean that they work for the empire itself, so.
Would it be okay if I were to cast some magic in your presence?
Urbessa says, "I would be offended if you didn't."
Well, let's hope our friend is close by here. Killian will take out the shoe, the little slipper, and a little.
She takes out a notebook and is like, "A shoe in spellcasting, interesting," and starts jotting down notes. It appears to be a fuchsia pink high heel. Mary Jane strap. Fascinating. Is the type of leather important as far as a component goes?
No. Just need to have a good look at it and know its appearance and ins and outs and And Killian just casts locate
So it's
object.
it's not so much a component as it is a fetish. I see. Okay. Stops writing.
What is a fetish?
You can ask
Oh, it's
Seraphina
like-
when we find her.
Thorgun like puts a hand up and stops Urbessa from explaining the definition of fetish. Please don't. This is why we keep the this is why we keep the what are they called? Oh my gosh, my brain is blanking. People who travel and make friends with other countries.
Oh,
Ambassadors?
diplomats.
Ambassadors.
Yes, thank you. All the above. This is why we keep them around. You're not good at this.
Yeah, so
yeah, you start casting.
yeah, locate object. So if the other shoe is within 1,000 feet of me, I will. Let me just see. Yeah, it just
Roll
says.
required.
No, you sense the direction of the object's location if that object is 1,000 feet of you.
Okay. You are still fairly close to the main forge itself, the Grand Forge. However, you know that direction is essentially like laterally, like on the same level of this place as you. The arcane sort of tether that connects between the shoe and Seraphina leads down and just ever so slightly beneath, like at an angle so that it's beneath the Grand Forge somewhere, down deeper into the mountain.
After like Killian's just holding on to it, he gets that sense, and pointing like down towards that direction, he'll say to Mbessa and he's big guy, Thorgun, is there anything down in that direction?
They look at each other and he says, well, the caldera, the main vent, that's all magma.
Is there a main vent? Okay.
Urbessa says, the only structures that can be maintained that close to the main vent of the caldera is, we have a few ore chutes that will drop ore down to the lower forges, so. And she starts thinking, and she, like, runs over to this, like, large dresser that she, like, climbs up the handles for, like it's a ladder, and, like, uses her whole body weight and, like, pushes off with her legs to open a drawer, and just sort of blindly reaches around in this giant drawer and pulls out this, like, giant-sized piece of parchment and almost, like, parachutes back down to the ground a couple feet with the parchment, and then lays out this, like, essentially what looks like a blueprint. And, she says, certainly plenty of caverns have been carved out and emptied over time in the area. Feasibly, there could be a room there that someone could survive in.
Okay. And would there be a way to get down there? Possibly unnoticed? Would taking these ore chutes lead you there?
I was hoping you'd ask. I think they would. At least somewhere along the way, if there's a space there, perhaps the chutes will lead out into it at some point before they reach the lower terraces. This could be fun. It's gonna be hot.
Okay.
She looks at Thorgun and he sort of says, I've never been able to stop Urbessa from digging into problems that she can't figure out a solution to, so if you don't mind her tagging along, she can try and help you find your way there. You have my leave to explore and try and find your friend.
We thank you graciously for allowing us to run around in your fine city.
Just know that the power of the All Mountain will crash down upon your heads if you even so much as think about stealing any of our tools or artifacts. I say this with all due respect.
Of course. Well, Urbessa, shall we?
Ha, this is going to be fun. I think I have just the kind of thing. Sort of a toboggan of sorts, but made for the lava chutes. And she skitters off. She says, come. We are going to go to my workshop, and we'll grab up the materials we need, and I can grab a few of my little trinkets and inventions, and we'll see what we can find for you all. And she takes you to her innovatorium. And as she does so, let's take a very quick 10-minute break as you guys get ready to slide down on into this volcano. So come on back at about 9:45 Eastern, 8:45 Central. We'll be right back to keep playing this little game. See you all in a couple minutes. Welcome back, babes. Okay, you guys are taking off with the young rock gnome woman, Irbessa, the sort of head engineer of Barrock Forge. And she is very excited as she leads you all to her innovatorium. She starts pulling out all these different little trinkets and things and attaching them to her belts and her handbags and all these things. Shortly after which, she goes over to this closet, and sort of like Murphy bed style, this door opens like from overhead, and as it crashes down in front of her, you see it is indeed like this like long looking toboggan thing. And she says, when I was younger and a bit more foolish, I thought lava sledding seemed like a fun thing to do. So this is from those days, but if we're gonna head down the ore chutes, it's gonna hurt if anybody is actively sending ore down to the lower levels. So we need to be careful not to get clobbered from above. But B, those chutes go as close to the main vent of the volcano as you can get. So it's quite important that we also are inside this sort of sardine can of a container so that we don't get burnt. So I'm excited. Let's go. And she sort of like gestures for you guys to drag this massive thing, because it's clearly made for essentially like a team of 10 gnomes. It's big enough, long enough for you guys all to fit in, like squatted very bigly, but
Glitterbell too. Glitterbell too.
Glitterbell might have to ride on your lap.
That's okay.
And she goes leading you off down one of the sort of gnomish corridors, and you guys are dragging this long toboggan behind you. And she eventually leads you to one of these chutes. And she says, this is one of the least used, so I feel like this is probably the safest ore chute to use. But even as she says that, you can hear like clanging from far above, and then just like slowly like kung 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 kung. You see this like massive like just open ore just falling past your faces as she like leans out and says, well, least used, this is a very busy area, so if we're gonna go, we might as well time it well.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, is there a way to time out when the next delivery of ore comes through?
No, it's quite random. It's just when it gets delivered, they drop it through from above, and it goes down to whichever forge has needed it. So,
all right.
Says,
So
maybe
just,
on go?
I think when the next one comes through, we go immediately.
Good plan, good plan. And she, you can see this chute, like, is kind of a vertical shot down, but like to slow the ore so that it doesn't just get pulverized where it lands. It has these sort of like zigzag floors all along the way down so that it just kind of like falls from one to the other. And you can see that like just like where you've opened this door to actually access it, that is where whoever would be receiving the ore would be waiting with their door open so that it'll like slide out toward them. So she kind of had to like close the door as that last set of ore came through so that it would continue sliding down. So she holds the door closed and she just like stands there quietly listening with like her finger on her mouth waiting for the next set to come. And after a minute or two, you hear from above clunk, 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 until it fades out beneath you and she says, time to go! And she throws the door open. I'm gonna have everybody roll a dexterity check as you load this toboggan onto the first one of those little slides down and climb aboard.
All right. 15 for Killian.
Okay.
13 for Eidos.
14 for Marway.
You're muted.
I think you're muted, Robin.
I said, luckily with advantage in a nasty, dirty 20.
Nice.
Beautimous. And Benji, a little bit taller, a little bit more gangly, got a 10. But he's the last one. He takes up the back of the toboggan and sort of climbs in as it starts to slide down away. And Urbessa is sitting in the front. And you can see she's like donned a helmet and she's like ducked down, sort of, so she's like all the way down, like you would see like actual like what is that Olympic sport from Cool Runnings?
Bobsled.
I can't remember the name of it. It's bobsled, like a bobsled team where you go all the way down to get more wind. She's bent all the way down, and she's small enough to do so that she can stay safe and keep her head down under. You guys are all just like going on a whim and a prayer here, hoping you don't get a concussion or hit any walls hard.
Killian is like constantly trying to push like Glitterbell's head back down because she's just like trying to put her head
like
out.
A dog with her head out the window.
Yeah.
She's thrilled. So this long toboggan is not made for this kind of thing. So it is basically going top over tail down this long chute. And eventually you pass a door where a bunch of gnomes are like waiting for their shipment, and they all go, what? They try and hold their door closed as you go ricketing past inside. And you hear all these little voices go, what in the hell's, and slowly fade away behind you as you keep ricocheting down, until eventually you come to a spot where you just kind of like get stuck because there's this door, and you've gone past any doors that seem to be like pretty actively used. This tunnel has started to show, like the doors have started to show a sign of rust down here. You've noticed that it's just like generally dustier, like all the debris that falls through this tunnel over time has started really like piling up on all of the little ledges and things to slow you down. It just seems like this is lower than any of the active forges where they would be receiving ore. And you get to the point where the toboggan eventually just clunk, 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 and gets stuck. And you're kind of between a set of two doors, both of which seem like rusty, one of which is like barely hanging on its hinges at this point.
Killian just like, all right, get up, go.
Okay. You all are dismounting the toboggan. You have the option of climbing down to a door or up to a door. What would you like to do? Would you like to investigate the doors at all? Just try one.
Is locate object still active?
That is only, I feel like it's only like 10 minutes. So,
Okay.
don't know how fast we got here, but I assume it's been more than 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think so. Between grabbing the toboggan from her inventorium and bringing it here, sliding down, I think it's probably been a little bit over 10 minutes. But you can kind of tell you should be physically very close to where you should be. It could be either of these doors, though.
So maybe we go up, get the jump on them if they're downstairs. I don't know.
And Bessa, do you know where any of these lead to?
No. We are deeper than any active forge I know of, and I can't say I've ever been down here or knew the chute even went down this low. She like looks down into the dark, and it's just like the chute just continues down into the earth, but clearly like stops being an active ore chute and just becomes like a tunnel into dead earth.
All right. Yeah, let's head up then.
Okay. Everybody roll. You can roll like a athletics check, a acrobatics check if you want to try something like that to climb your way up this big ol' chute.
As a goat, is it more of a less than 90-degree angle? Oh,
Yeah, we
a
did
nat
talk
20
about
anyway.
you were so comfortable on like a 90-degree angle. Nat 20 anyway, of course it is. But it's only 20s and 1s, so 20 from our way.
26
Whatever else
for
get.
Bula.
26 for Bula.
Killian got a 12 because he's actively trying to also get Glitterbell up along
Yeah,
with him.
that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense to me. Eidos, what was yours?
Ados also got a 12 because it's gross down here.
Doesn't want to touch anything.
It's so dusty. All your dark gray cloaks and things just look like they're been bleached. So you're just covered in dust.
And they're
There's
hand
no
wash
press.
only.
There's no.
Yeah, they're definitely hand wash only. You don't have Seraphina to prestidigitate you. Okay.
You're back.
Yeah, luckily with and Benji rolled a 16. With the help of Bula and Benji and Marway, Marway's hooves are made for mountain goating. So he is steady. He's just like walking up this like it's a floor. He's able to help you all up to the door above you. which you can see like has one hinge completely like pulled out of the rock with the door's weight. Seems to have not been used in a long while. Otherwise, like as soon as you go to open it, like it just like falls heavy down into the darkness beneath you with a pretty loud clang. Clunk, clunk, as it goes down into the earth. Who would be at the top? Who would be climbing up first? Considering it's probably one of those who had a higher roll.
Bula can go through and kind of knock the doors out of the way and kind of clear that area.
Okay, cool. You kind of poke your head out after the door falls and look around, and what you see is looks like an old workshop, old forge. I would say it's cold, but cold in like that's not been used, not cold that it's not in the middle of a volcano. Warm temperature-wise, cold as in like no sign of life in this room. It's pretty quiet and empty. But go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
While she's doing that, Keelan just wants to look over to Urbessa and ask, I don't know what we're going to find down here. Do you have a means of defending yourself?
I have enough means of defending myself in it. At all, if all fails, I am quick and I can hide.
All right.
And if we happen to be able to find my people, they themselves will be able to help if we can get them to the point where they are able.
So she got a 12 on her perception.
Okay. I think very faintly you can hear something in the distance. Hard to tell which area it's coming from. Like it's outside this room, but somewhere nearby-ish. You can hear like faint clanging and what sounds like steam hissing, actively hissing.
Okay.
Like this room appears not being used, so it doesn't make sense that you would be able to hear this down this deep, because you can't even hear like, even in the tunnel, you couldn't hear the clanging of the actual mountain overhead of all that activity. It's gotten very quiet this deep.
So she sees the room and she sees that there are like doors or hallways or something that leads to other places.
Yeah, you can see. Yeah, you're poking your head out of essentially a laundry chute, and you can see there's like a small set of stone steps and a door that's been like just off the hinges, like down on the ground for ages. So you can see out this door, and there's like a hallway.
Okay. So she kind of like sticks her head back down through the hole and kind of tells them what she sees. Says, I think maybe we're going the right way. And then she pulls herself through the hole and helps to pull everybody else through the hole.
Okay. Yeah, you all emerge into this quiet old workshop room, clearly in disuse for a long time. Like everything that was metal has rusted. And this is a very dry mountain. This is a magma-filled mountain, and there's not a lot of moisture around to rust things, so this has to have been a long process. Anything would have disintegrated ages ago. But you all emerge out into this room, and indeed you can also hear very faint noises from some distance down that hallway.
Do we want to put our robes back on? Just in case they're, dumb.
Well, I mean, might not hurt, but Urbessa doesn't have any. So.
And she did rip up one of ours, so. Never mind.
Yeah. Did you rip up mine? So. Urbessa, any idea of like what we're walking into here? Like, obviously this area has been long abandoned, so I'm sure you might be surprised that there's something going on down here.
I would say I'm surprised, but Thorgun left out that this mountain, we inhabited it, both the giants and us, after the Dionic Wars. And it's been long rumored that the mountain is one of the many places where the Dionic Wars were made or broken. So, knowing that we came into workshops that existed and refurbished forges that had long been used before us in another time and another age, I'm not surprised that there are sections that we have yet to find, or that perhaps have been, if they have been found, were lost to us since then.
Looking around, are there multiple exits or hallways or something like that out of this area? Like, can we clearly identify like where the clanging noise is coming from, or is it just kind of echoing out everywhere?
It is quite echoey because it's so empty and old and deep here. At the same time, though, I'll let you roll a perception check since Bula also had a chance to.
All right.
And now that you're out in the hallway.
Perception. That's only an 11.
Okay. Yeah, hard to say. The noise, it's even so deep that almost like your ears just also sort of have that like thrumming of pressure just being this deep under land and under the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to say, but that being said, you're in a hallway that goes either left or right from where you are, and there appear to be other doors like the workshop that you just came out of. So it'd be easy enough to sort of like move down this hallway in either direction and see if you're getting closer or further. You're just gonna have to actually move to find out.
All right. Well, I want to make this as expedient as possible, but I don't want to use any more magic. But I do have an idea. Killian will once again grab Seraphina's shoe, and he'll let Glitterbell sniff it. And he'll just like, all right, Glitterbell, find Seraphina. Find.
She like sneezes, and then like starts sniffing the air, and her tail starts going. Let me do a check for her.
Is she a
Melanie,
dragon?
what are the
or
odds you have her
I'm
shade?
gonna give her
bloodhound?
guidance on this.
Give her guidance. Okay, that's what, a plus a d4.
Yes.
Okay, it was a 15 on the first die, plus the 3 for guidance. And then Melanie, what does she have as far as intelligence modifiers?
She has no modifiers.
Okay. Then that's still going to be an 18, which is very good. So she can, at the very least, start leading you down the correct distance. You get the idea that she has a scent that she's picked up. She knows her mama, and her mama's feet stink.
Wait, is this perception?
Yeah.
Oh, she has +3 on perception.
Okay, for sure. You guys can tell this little pseudo dragon has a lead on her mom. Melanie, let me ask you this. Let's bring you into the fold here. Would Seraphina scream while being tortured?
I feel like she's not a screamer. I feel like she's an internalizer. Hold it in.
Internalizing
Not give other people
torture.
satisfaction.
She's quietly adding to her list of people she has a grudge against, is what you're telling me.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so as you guys follow Glitterbell, who is actively running down this hallway with such a good scent lead, you don't hear the screams of your friend being tortured, but you do hear, do any of you speak, Infernal?
This guy.
Speaks
Okay,
everything.
Killian, you're going to hear
Two
a
things.
woman yelling in Infernal and then in Common, different questions. How
Alright.
did the figurine get destroyed? Tell me where the other armaments are. Tell me where your companions might be. All of these questions in Infernal, in Common, and then long pause, and then the sound of a whip cracking.
Does the voice sound familiar at all?
No.
Okay.
But you guys are definitely like actively getting closer to that voice as you run down the hallway. Are you trying to approach with stealth, or are you at a full tilt? Glitterbell is at a full tilt.
Yeah.
I feel like if she's at a full tilt, Killian's being like, he's trying to hold her back, but I feel like a contested athletics check is needed against reining her in.
Yeah. You can try a contested athletic checks if you like to. Otherwise, you can just run with her. That's your prerogative.
I'm just going to be, so I'm like holding it. I'm looking back to everyone. It's like, guys, what are we doing? And I'm just like, she's like slowly inching me forward. As I look back to everybody.
I'm gonna summon Siege.
Okay. Did you already still have Eden or Hoothmer out? Didn't you say you had someone already
Eden
summoned
is
earlier?
out, Hoothmer is not.
Okay, cool. And you're using a summon for Siege.
Because he makes a big ol' lightning strike when he gets summoned, and I'm not looking to tell him that we're here.
Yeah, I think Eidos will cast innate sorcery on himself and say, "Let's kick ass. Let's get Seraphina."
Okay. Yeah, and eventually you come down a turn in the hallway where you can see the hallway, like, sconces are lit, unlike the rest of these hallways have been. and you see there's a particular door that is like closed. The rest have been open, fallen off their hinges, gone a long time ago. There's a room where there is a working door that has been closed and like repaired. And this is where you hear a lot of voices coming from in there. Quiet gnomish voices, male voices, those sounding a bit familiar, a bit like the deep sort of chanting monks that you fought, as well as that voice speaking infernal.
All right. Let's go Circle of Sanctuary.
Okay, you bust in, and I'm going to have you all switch over to our map. Let me activate it here.
Let's go.
I'm not nervous, you're nervous.
Oh, that's a lot of dudes. Oh, and there's a particularly big dude.
Ooh.
So, what you see, what your characters see, you hear that voice, but you can't actually see what you see on the map. Like, you see all these cultists, you see a bunch of gnomes throughout the room, each seeming under guard, like the gnomes are all in shackles that are tethered to some piece of equipment in here or another. You see some of those, like, monkish cultists from before. You see at the far end of the room a balcony with a few stairs, atop which Amelia stands and surveys the scene beneath her and looks curiously at you. But the devil and Seraphina, you cannot see, but you can hear that devil's voice coming from in a closed sort of like sub-room. So what you're seeing are these people outside that sub-room, but this area is not visible to you. You can just hear that that's where that voice is happening. And the cracking of a whip. Okay. Everybody roll initiative. Let's fight.
Yeah. Does anybody want to say something marvelly quippy as we enter the room?
Oh. I don't know. Ooh. Ooh, that's a lot of people. Ooh.
Oh, this isn't where I parked my cart.
You hear Bessa yell, Quillet! Himlick!
I thought she was gonna
Get
yell.
yourselves out of those shackles! As she recognizes some of the gnomes who are shackled in this room.
Are any of the robes gnome-shaped?
Are any of the robes gnome-shaped? Good question. No. No, they're all taller than gnomes.
Okay.
Might they be two gnomes in a trench coat? Hard to tell. I think Eidos would be super suspicious of that, because the robes do cover a lot.
That's true. That's a very good point. Thank you.
No, they didn't.
You're welcome.
She's like pulling hers together again.
They're all roughly human-sized as far as those goes. And you see four gnomes shackled throughout the room.
Okay. Yeah, I was just gonna
So I'll
ask.
kind of point them out. Yeah, so I will go ahead and if you give me a quick second while you guys roll initiative, I will make their names visible to you so that way you can, like, if you need to, you can tell me specifically which one you want to do anything with, if anything.
Awesome, thank you.
Just quickly, is the area that Big Demon, Seraphina are there, is that like walled off? Like, are we able to see that at all?
No, it is fully walled off. That has two doors that are closed. One door is up here where your cursor is, Pillion, and then the other one is being guarded by these two cultists here.
Okay.
Amelia's section is sort of a low terrace, so you can see her. That's just like a half wall that she stands at. So she sees you, you see her. I don't know which of these I've done now because I started talking. What's further one?
The one who's kind of pointing is the only one without a name.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool, thank you.
that one.
That's helpful.
There you go. You got all of them.
And then as we play here, I'll let you guys tell me your initiative real fast so you guys can plan your ideas. Oh, and Seraphina, go ahead and roll your initiative too. I think you probably hear that door bust open. So I don't know that you know what's going on out there, but I think you're probably hyper aware in this moment, being whipped and questioned.
Ooh, I only have a 4 because I'm being whipped.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. You are, I will tell you, the rest of you don't know this because you can't see her. Seraphina, you woke up or were awakened last night and you have spent the last 12-ish hours in some state of consciousness or unconsciousness, being brought back, being healed, being questioned. You are both magically bound at this point, and you are tethered to a table by some kind of mithril cord, by like your ankles, your wrists. Your back has been ripped. The back of your dress has been ripped open bare so that you could be whipped.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's
This
worse
is-
than the actual whipping.
Just
So
another.
you guys haven't seen this yet.
Just got ripped.
Like,
Yeah,
just
that's
another.
horrible. That's
just-
horrible. I think that is the point where you might have broken.
I mean, just another Friday night otherwise for Seraphina.
Chains and Whips Exciter, baby. She did not know what she was asking for. Okay, Eidos, what is your initiative?
4.
Love to see it. Marway.
12.
Beautiful. Killian.
18.
18. Bula.
Also 12.
Will. Benji is rolling in with a... Oh, a nat 1 for a 1.
Hot. Coming in hot.
And then I've also rolled into the initiative all 5 of the who you can assume after Irbessa yelled. You can assume are the Latchkey Collective, all chained up. They've all got their own initiative in the order. The cultists all have their initiative in the order. Glitterbell will go on Seraphina's turn, and who am I missing? That's it.
Is
Amelia's in the order.
is Seraphina controlling Glitterbell?
She's not necessarily controlling her. Glitterbell doesn't have eyes on her, but the way Glitterbell ran into this room and in this immediate moment, you can see Glitterbell like frantically looking around for her, knowing she's
Okay.
somewhere nearby. So you can only assume, unless you can convince her to do otherwise, this dragon's gonna try and find Mom on their turn.
All right.
Okay, starting at the top with a couple cultists, unfortunately, with some pretty high rolls. All of whom I will also go ahead and, as I use them, I will reveal their names. I have them listed like A, B, C, D, E to make things easier, which I'll try and start doing from now on, when it can be done. So, weirdly enough, the one closest to you all, as you all run through the door, the one closest obviously reacts the fastest. He seems to be like overseeing, guarding this like shorter, stockier little gnome man. Comes whipping around when Urbessa yells out to her companions, and is going to basically use a free action to yell out to his companions and to whoever else is listening. It's the rest of their little team, and you can kind of recognize the voice. He's one of the initial ones who took Seraphina through the portal. I was hoping you'd all come find us so that we wouldn't have to hunt you all down afterwards. And he is going to go ahead and try a mass suggestion on you again. There's no river to have you lay down in, besides one of magma, but that would hurt you, so he can't do that necessarily. So you got lucky this time, you might not get wet, but I'm gonna have all of you who just ran through the door roll a wisdom saving throw.
Me being immune to charm, do I have to?
Nope.
Yay.
This is a charmed condition.
You said it wisdom?
Wisdom. Yep, wisdom save.
You do get a +4 because you're all near me this time.
Nice.
Which is good because Benji got a 9. So that +4.
The Morrow
might
gang
save him.
all passed.
Nice,
I'm
nice, nice.
assuming with like all over 18s with the help with Killian.
Cool. Got a 25.
How much do I add, Killing?
+4.
It's a 22 for me.
Everyone except Benji.
What was this last fight?
Yeah,
I
truly.
wasn't near you guys. That's why.
We don't have his strength.
And then your best,
She's. I think she's technically outside. Yeah, she's outside of my aura.
okay, so she does not get the addition. Cool.
I mean, she was beside Benji before, but you moved her.
Bessa failed as well, so Bessa and Benji both failed it. The rest of you did pass. Okay. So, he's going to say, he's going to gesture over to, like, some extra shackles that are sort of tied to this sort of radiator-looking brass device over here. And he's gonna say, why don't you all go ahead and lock yourselves up to make things easier? And Irbessa and Benji both head that direction. Or they will on their turn, I suppose. I can wait in case you guys have anything up your sleeve. Another one is gonna go, and just like his friend, he's a real hoop head. So he's just gonna go ahead and, like, try and hurt you all.
Rude.
With a big ol' radius storm. So everybody in the same area, go ahead and roll me a con save.
And y'all get +4.
Nice.
All right. 22 for Killian.
22 for Eidos.
24 for Bula.
The lowest of the Morrow gang is a 19.
Does Glitterbell need to roll?
Yeah, because she can take damage.
What is the roll again?
Con save.
And she does get +4.
14.
Okay. Benji, unfortunately, is rocking an 8. And he cannot roll tonight, unlike the rest of you. And then Irbessa. Passes. That one. Okay. Everybody is gonna take half damage except for Benji and Glitterbell. And the full amount of damage from that is going to not be pretty. I'm so sorry. Grab the rat dice. Ooh, you're lucky. That was a 1 and a 2 on a couple of those dice. That's gonna be a 26 damage as the full damage, so have that to 13.
Okay.
What kind of damage is it?
That is radiant damage,
Radiant. Okay.
as the storm
excellent.
erupts around you all of radiant
It's
light.
resistant to that.
So Glitterbell takes full damage?
Yeah.
Oh no, she's down.
Oh no.
Mhm.
If I can't kill you, I'll kill your pet.
So it was 26 for the full and 13 for half, or how much was
Yeah,
the?
13 for, those of
Okay.
you who passed do only 13, so that's everybody except for Benji and Glitterbell. Okay. Next up, Killian.
All right. Killian is going to. So this time, Killian actually does not have his whip and shield. This time, he's actually opted for a more offensive take, and he's got. He pulls out 2 blades. One being the saber of Alana Virgo, and he also pulls out one of the poisoned scimitars that he took a while back from one of these cultists before, I think back in Nerdistan. And so he's going to close in on the first cultist here, and he's going to attack with the saber first, and at the same time he's going to activate his channel divinity on that blade, so it shines bright, and he's going to attack. So this is going to be 17 plus 12, so I'm assuming that hits.
Yeah, that'll hit.
All right, so that's going to do 8 radiant damage, and then he's going to. So that short sword applies the Vex property. So my next attack has advantage. And as part of the attack action, my scimitar has the nick. So I can kind of use it as a. Like the bonus action gets incorporated into the extra or the first attack without using my bonus action. So I'm going to attack with a poison scimitar there. And that's at advantage. So that's going to be a 20, dirty 20 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
And that's going to do 3, so 4. So 4 slashing damage, and then a little bit of poison, just 1 poison damage. And then he's going to use his extra attack to attack with the saber one more time, and that's going to be an 18, oh, actually a 22 to hit.
That hits.
All right, and on this one, I'll use a divine smite, but first it's going to be 9 radiant damage, and then I'm going to use I'm going 3rd level divine smite on this guy. I hate mass suggestion. I hate it so much.
Very annoying.
All right, that's only. Oh, that's bad. Bad rolls. Bad. That's only going to be 7 radiant damage. Real bad rolls.
Okay. You still just hit, though. You did a good chunk of damage.
Mhm.
Okay.
And that is Killian's turn.
Okay. Awesome. You see our good friends, the older gentleman, the older, rounder little gnome closer to you, particularly Killian, and another one who doesn't have any particular cultist next to him, who's sort of chained up to these, like, I don't know, look like some kind of gas containers or something. They both kind of look relieved, as it looks like help has arrived for them after quite a long time down here. They all look quite hungry, dirty, a bit ravaged, a bit tortured. Like they've been just kind of worked around the clock. And they're both going to immediately try and either get out of their restraints in one case, and in fact the one next to you is going to go ahead and do an attack on the guy you're attacking, because he's like, the sooner this guy dies, the sooner I can get myself free. So you see him pull out a little like flying horsefly looking bug out of his pocket. And he just like sort of chucks it at the guy right next to you. It's essentially just like a little melee attack with this little gadget, as it like clamps onto him with these little metal teeth, and just this little bug just starts like vibrating, so it's like tearing this like tiny little part of his skin.
Jesus.
Just causing like blood to just like fly in almost like a puff around him. So it definitely hits. It definitely hits this bug biting into this thing's like this cultist's shoulder through his clothes. It doesn't do a ton of damage, but it is going to do another 10 damage to the one Killian was beaten up on. Meanwhile, the other one I'm going to roll, this one over here, Pemwick, I'm going to roll to see. He's going to immediately pull out some tools nearby and like just a shard of metal, and is going to try and start picking the lock on his tether, or on his shackles. So we'll see if he's successful getting himself out of that this round. He's not, but he's working on it, so hopefully next round. And then we're going to have another cultist go, and this is one of the ones that are inside the room with you, Seraphina. So as far as you go, you heard the door burst open. You hear Glitterbell like roar for you in a sort of voice that you haven't heard from her before. You can hear like the very distinct sound of Killian rushing into a fight. You know the sound well by now. Does Seraphina feel some hope? What is Seraphina thinking in this moment, as you also see a cultist and this devil woman who's been torturing you, and the gnome woman who has been captive in here with you this whole time, all kind of look at each other confusedly?
Seraphina feels hopeful, but also scared that they don't know what's in here.
Yeah, okay. And the cultist is going to kind of look to the devil, and the devil woman, you've heard them call her Vesh. She says, the others outside will handle it, and if not, I'll send you out. For now, stay here. We need to break this one before the others can get in. And the cultist just sort of stays, and the cultist is the one who's been holding the magical bind on you, so that even if you get through that mithril tether, they've got a magical spell holding you to that table. So they're kind of concentrating on that. Bula, and then Marway.
All
What you
right.
gonna do, Bula? Or you guys
So-
have the same initiative, so you can, if you want to figure out who goes first, you guys are welcome to discuss.
Ladies first.
All right. So Bula looks in the room, and the first thing that she sees is that she does not see Seraphina. Like, she's supposed to be in here. That makes her angry. So she's going to go on ahead. Not only is she going to rage, but she's going to pounce. So that's going to take her half of her movement forward. And I'm going to move everyone because I always do. Okay.
Don't forget, you can just like click and drag a tiny little square on just your character to select just her. Just kind of like away from everybody else, kind of like I'm doing.
Right. I have tried that a couple times and it's
No good.
not working. Okay.
It's crazy.
I don't get it.
That must be something. It must be something with the game and not you. I don't think
I
you're
can move
crazy.
you. Are you trying to go here?
Use your cursor, show us where you want to go.
She's-
We'll put you there.
Okay. She's gonna go around the wall here
Okay.
as her pounce.
Yeah, that's like a tall shelf. Yep, that works.
Right. And then she should be able to take most of the rest of her movement to get up to close to this cultist D. The reason is because she cannot find Seraphina, but she can see a wall. Well, it only stands to reason that maybe she's behind the wall. So we're gonna take out these people here. So she is raging. So as she just screams, pounces, and then all of a sudden these like baubles of light just pop out around her. And she just feels like her AC is a little bit better. But it's also just very, very pretty, all these lights just coming out of her. And if her friends were to get in said lights, they might also feel like they're just a little harder to hit. All right, so she pulls out her axe, and she is coming at this Joker. It's gonna be, that's not great. That's just a 15 to hit.
Let me double check. Does not hit.
Does not hit. She's gonna go on ahead and, you know what? She's gonna reckless attack. For her second one, so she has advantage, but they have advantage on her as well until the start of her next turn. She's gonna do it anyways. Okay. I'm gonna forego advantage on that. And that's gonna be a 24 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. So we're gonna roll. Stop it. We're gonna roll damage. $14 points of damage, but because because we did not use advantage on that, what we're going to do is we're going to have things work like they're supposed to. We're going to add brutal strike. So another 1d10 of damage. So another 5, and we're also going to do the hamstring blow. So their speed is reduced by 15 feet until the next start of my next turn.
Cool. Okay.
And then the last thing that we're gonna do, well, nope, I'm gonna hold that one. I'm gonna hold it.
All right.
Good. That's it.
Okay. Cool. Next up, Marway.
Alrighty, let's do some cool stuff. First up, we're gonna hide behind this wall, because I don't want to be out in front of that. And while we're running over, we are gonna summon Huthamer, right here. So I'm gonna need Cultist C to make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Okay. That was pretty good. That was a 22.
Well, poopy duke. So he's not going to get blasted by lightning.
Sad.
We'll have Eden come up on top of this bookshelf, and we're just gonna chill for a little bit. And for Siege's turn, he's gonna come up here, and he's gonna make his attacks with advantage because he has pack tactics. And that is going to be like a 23.
That hits.
Perfect. Give me 13 points of piercing damage, please.
Very cool. On B, right?
On... Yes.
Yeah, the one by Killing. Yep. Cool. You said it was what, 13?
Yes.
Yeah, you guys are roughing him up pretty good. Very nice.
And then we're gonna move Siege for his last bit of movement right here to that corner, so he can't come over there and, you know, inappropriately touch me.
Sure. Okay. Okay, next up is another cultist. There's so many of them in this room. You guys just always getting into trouble with cultists. This is one of the ones guarding the door, so they're not going to even try and move away from their position, but they are going to shoot a radiant ray at Bula. Because why not? That's going to be a 16 to hit you.
Yeah, I'm at
Just
16.
got a little boost.
I know, but I'm at 16.
Okay. And this one hurts, unfortunately. That's going to be 33 radiant damage to you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yep, big ouch. Luckily,
She
your
says,
Bessa
"Mm."
is... yeah, they don't have any bonus actions to use on you. Okay, Urbessa is going to be up next. She, again, hollers out to all of her people, and she sort of takes account of who's here, and she yells out, "Where's Tessa?" And, the oldest one nearest you guys yells back, "She's in the room with the girl!" And she is gonna, she's mad. She's big mad seeing her people like this. So, you see her, go into one of her little satchels and pull out this, weird little, like, goopy ball of something, that's sort of being held in this device cage of some sort. And she launches it, within 30 feet of herself, so she's gonna try and hit someone who's not necessarily by you guys, but 30 feet away. She'll do some movement so she can do this. She's gonna choop, 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 choop. That'll do. She's gonna lob this thing at that cultist over there because she wants to free her people. And as it crashes against that cultist, this cloud of gas explodes around him. And he's going to take some, what appears to be like psychic damage, and he falls afraid of her. So he is feared and took a little hit. I just have to remember how it's labeled in this frightened there. Okay. She is also going to... She's going to use her little bit of movement left and spider climb up next to Eden up on the bookshelf. And after her, another one of the gnomes is going to try and free herself, seeing that Urbessa threw this cloudy gas at this person, sort of guarding her and Hara. Nibble is going to go ahead and try and pick the lock on her device, her little shackle. And she does not manage to get it open this round, but she can try again next time. In the meantime, though, does she have anything she wants to do? Yeah, what the heck? She's just gonna shoot off a magic missile. Just immediately cast a spell, because she can, at the cultist who's afraid.
Pew, pew, pew.
These are high rolls. Those were both 5s on that d4, and a 3, so 13 damage and magic missile hits that guy who's already been feared just now. Okay, Seraphina, unfortunately, next up is Vesh, this torturer of yours, this horned devil in the room with you. She is going to, I think, probably at this point, she's been whipping you for a bit, and each whip, I'm going to say, has been, like, 4 points of slashing damage, essentially. So I'm going to have you go ahead and move Seraphina's HP down to, like, let's just drop, like, 16 off since the last time I healed you. And slashing damage, that happened kind of before your team ran in.
Okay.
And she is going to stop joking around because now she has more people that she can torture and try and get information out of. It's not just you. She can tell that she has more prisoners to be out there. She's very confident that she's going to be able to chain them up just like she has you. So she is going to... She's okay if you die. So she's going to magic missile you. Or she wants to get you close to death at this point, at the very least. See if she can get any information out of you before you die. But at this point, you can kind of tell there's a shift in her. They've been healing you back to health this whole time that they've been torturing you to keep you alive. But you can see that she's lost patience with you and is fine if you die, but hoping you'll get information until then. So instead of her whip, she hits you with 3 magic missile whips for 12 points of force damage.
Okay.
Okay, Cultist C's turn, who is now afraid, and I believe that means they have to run away from Irbessa for their movement. So they're gonna run up and try and hide behind Amelia to get away from her. Let's see, that was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So they kind of run up the stairs up to this balcony. I believe, I'm gonna double check myself, that they can still take an action. They just had to get away from her. Yep, can't move closer. Okay, they just have disadvantage if they take any attacks. So they are still going to try and take an attack on one of the rest of you. So that's going to be a Radiant Ray being shot at... Eden. Because they're close. So that's going to be a 14 to hit Eden. Does that hit, Bobby?
Was that is that B that's doing that?
It's C. Just ran up onto the platform.
Well, it'll be with disadvantage also because the source of his fear is within sight.
You right. Thank you. Let me try again. That next one was a nat 1, so thank you for the reminder.
Ooh.
Wow.
Eden's lucky.
Good call. I had just read that.
Eden's resistant to radiant. I wasn't too fearful.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like that cultist just knows they've done some bad things to poor Hara. And Irbessa looks like she has death in her eyes. That's a very cute gnome, but she looks so scary right now. Eidos, you're up next.
Okay. Eidos is going to try to pull off another bouncing chromatic electrical orb trick on these homies. Killian, are you sitting on B? I guess his name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's B.
Okay, so I'm going to twin cast chromatic orb at 4th level, B, and let's go with D. And I'll get advantage because of innate sorcery, which is good news. So it's either a 15 or a 16 to hit.
16 will hit.
Go ahead and
Thanks.
Just hits.
Okay. Let me gather all my dice here.
Blow him
That
up.
is 68.
Blow them up.
68.
Blow them up.
68, baby.
8 days.
Woo!
That's crazy.
And they bounce. We got double 7s for 14, double 3s for, oh, I shouldn't have said it like that, 20, and then 26. And I need another one. So 26 points of damage. 27 points of damage on B and D. And then they bounce. I'm going to have them zoom right past each other and hit B and D again. And that is full, right? Make an attack roll against the new target and new damage roll. Okay, I don't think I did that last time, so oopsies. So here's the new attack roll. So it's either a 12. Here it goes. 12 or a 24.
24 will do it, for sure.
Alright. Here's another. And it bounces. That's double 4s for 8. Plus 8 is 16. Plus 3 is 19. And then plus 7 is 26. And another. Plus 7 is 33. Jesus. I'm an English major.
Clear with one spell. Ball wizard.
Maximum number of times equal to the level of spells slot expended. All right. They zoom cross each other and hit B and D again until they die, I guess.
What was the amount of damage?
What did I end up with there?
What?
Does anybody remember?
What? You want us?
It was 30 something for that second one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's 33, I think.
33. Okay, that's what I thought.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar. Yeah. It was so far in the past, I can't remember.
Oh, I mean, it was like I feel like it was 60 something or
Yeah.
At
That's-
least like 333 damage.
yes,
Some-
742.
That makes a lot of sense. Sorcerers are so strong.
I think their brains explode, right?
Brain matter out the ears.
And so
B looks really bad. D looks bad.
Jesus Christ, there's
They're
tough
both mad
boys,
bloody.
tough boys.
They
All
seem
right.
a little tougher than the last time you fought them, even just a day ago.
Somebody's been eating their Wheaties. All right.
I've been eating Bula snacks.
Oh, no, not the
I want
snacks.
those back.
There's so many. Eight in the bag.
All right. That was a 21 to hit. So
Yep.
let's do it again.
How many times does this thing bounce?
4 times
Deliberate.
to use a 4th level spell.
My
That's
God.
right. Bill Day Fry.
The twin is OP.
And that bounces because it's a double 8. That's a 16. Plus 3 is a 19. Plus
Sweet Christ.
21.
Kara's
plus
like, I'm
6,
ruined.
27. Plus 6 is 33 again.
B goes down.
B
Had
goes
32 hit points left.
Okay. His goes zoom over to E. No, actually, wait. No, his goes to D. D's goes to E.
Okay.
Just clear out the
Lulu's
room.
just sitting there going,
What?
So, yeah. Oh, that
Like
was
cat's watching a laser pointer.
Eden is going
So
crazy
confused.
right now.
Yeah, Eden's tail is so poofy, and those ears are back, airplane ears.
So, for reference, Eden has 2 tails, and they are both like.
Yes. So twitchy. The eyes are all pupil.
Well, she's always all pupil, but yes.
True.
18 covers it, right?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
And I think this is the
When
fun.
will it end?
It ends with this one,
This will be the last one.
and then we can move on. I like
You
rolling
take your
dice
time. I'm
though.
gonna fix my makeup. You take a little bathroom break.
No doubles, which is a good time to start having no doubles. So 9, 17, 19, 25 plus another 29 points of lightning damage to D and E.
That was a crazy amount of damage in one round. What a use of a spell.
That was insane.
And then
Yeah,
somebody-
D is still up, but by a hair. By a hair. He looks burnt.
Nice. And then I'll move forward, just for fun.
Yeah, why not? After that round, feeling good.
And I'm gonna use my bonus action to do a telekinetic shove on D. Just try to push him over.
Already dead?
D? I thought B was
Oh,
dead.
I'm so sorry. I lied. I was confused for a second.
B as in boy is dead. D
B as in boy is dead, which is the one you're
Yeah,
next to.
no, you just did so much shit that my brain short-circuited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So you're doing a shove on D over here, correct? Making sure.
Yeah, D as in
Okay.
getting dunked on, this homie. He needs a DC 16 strength saving throw.
Okay. Strength is not their strong suit.
I guess
That's a failure.
That was crazy.
That was
Okay, he just moves 5 feet away. I was hoping he would fall down, but he's just like, oh, what? That's rude.
Just like a bully on the playground. Just what? What do you want to do about it? Magically shove him.
I feel like you just redeemed your whole last combat.
In one round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
In one
one's not
spell.
stuck in a creek. He can do damage.
Yeah, that felt a lot better, I'm not gonna lie. And then
That was
is
crazy.
my turn.
Oh, that's it? Okay.
That's it.
Chat, who totaled
Just
that
that.
damage? I want to know.
Gotta be over 100, easy.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah.
Okay, I should have mentioned Eidos and Seraphina have the same, initiative, but, you know, Seraphina's chained up, so it makes sense that she would go after Eidos. Seraphina, finally, you have a turn here. Mithril tethered, you were just hit by a magic missile. There is a cultist in the room who's been holding, like a basically a hold person type spell to keep you bound. You've got mithril bindings on your ankles and your wrists. You're face down, prone on the table. Anything at all you can do at this point.
Seraphina is just gonna yell as loud as she can, and say, I'm in here and there's a crazy devil lady and she ripped my dress.
She ripped my dress. Of all the information you could give them,
That's the most important
that is the
information.
most important. For sure, for sure. One shoe, ripped dress. Seraphina has never been so in dire straits.
But also, on my turn, Glitterbell has 0 hit points, so I think I have to roll for her.
Unfortunately, yeah, I'm gonna need you to roll a d20 for her first death save.
Okay.
Oh, no. But that's sad.
It's a
You don't want her to
10.
die. That is a pass. That is a pass. 10 and above is okay. Congratulations. Okay, so that's 1 out of 3 saves. Okay. Next up, oh, my cat is climbing me with her claws. That's not nice. This is why I usually close the doors. Okay. It is going to be, which one is A?
Faye's in the room with Seraphina.
A is in the room with, thank you. Not A the cultist, it's Hera that,
Oh.
it's her turn. Yeah. But that is she is in the room with Seraphina. So Hera, hearing you call for help, hoping maybe the tides will turn. Words.
There we go.
She's gonna try and do some things. She is going to try and help you out here with a little gadget that she has been hiding under her tongue. I don't know, Seraphina, that you see her pull it out, but she produces this little gadget from underneath her tongue and opens her mouth up wide after she places it like sort of on top of her tongue because she's pretty well shackled. And opens her mouth up wide, and this like crazy screeching wave of sound in this tiny stone room, and it emanates out of her mouth with this device. And she's gonna aim it away from you, Seraphina, so you don't need to try and do a save. But I'm gonna have both the devil and the cultist in the room with you roll a save here, real quick. Huh! That's a nat 1 for the devil and a 6 for the cultist, so that's lucky. They're each going to take a little bit of thunder damage and are temporarily deafened. for 1 round. Okay, and then she's gonna, after you yelled, she's gonna use a moment to also pull out a little tiny pouch of something. So you hear this deafening scream. I think you probably like look over your shoulder up at her, and she pulls out a little pouch and winks at you and throws it down at the feet of the devil. And the powder, as soon as it hits her feet, explode in this like brilliant, bright, explosive light. And I'm gonna roll a dex save for the devil. That's another fail. So the devil is not only deafened for 1 round, but blinded until the end of the devil's next turn. So the devil is deaf and blind and took a little bit of damage. Benji's turn finally. Let's see how he does.
So
And then it's going to be Amelia's turn.
is Benji? He failed that mad suggestion, didn't he?
He did, you're right. So he is going to have to use his turn to hop, skip, and jump.
You know,
Did Urbessa fail that one too? Did I fuck that up? Mess that up? Sorry. Duck it up.
she may have.
Quack.
Hey,
Quack.
you know what? Though? You know what's funny? I looked because I was very curious. Match suggestion still goes on if the caster's dead. It's so strong.
Nuh-uh.
It is such a strong ability. I looked it up. Like, does this still happen? It's like, yep, still goes.
That is crazy.
It's ridiculous.
They literally have to be hit by like an ally or like the target or like the caster. Like, it's weird. Because I was looking it up. I was like, is this ability just super strong?
That's
It is.
It is.
And it turns
It
out
is.
it is very strong. It is 6th level, but
Yep.
super strong.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna revamp part of her move, Urbessa's move, and part of it I'll let stand because it was my mess up. You all don't need to suffer for it. But so I'll keep that cultist feared. She barely did any damage to them. But she did end up having to use her turn to move over and lock herself up. So all her movement went to that. And Benji used all of his movement to go over, and they start clamping shackles onto their ankles, which are attached to this piping. And they're sitting still, sitting pretty. And now it's going to be Amelia, our good friend, our old buddy, our old pal. Killian, she just kind of like smiles at you as you're just like wailing on that cultist who has just died at your feet thanks to Eidos and your massive damage you both did. And she is going to... I think she knows that you have all these auras and things, so she's going to cast a Dispel Magic on you. So she can do it on any creature within 120 feet. Let me see if she needs to move. You're plenty close.
I don't know if that gets rid of my aura per se.
It might not. If I use 4th level higher, automatically end the effects of a spell on the target if the spell's level is equal to or less than. Okay, yeah, so you don't have any active spells going to you. It's just your aura.
Yeah, the aura's
Okay.
not a spell.
Okay,
It's
you're right.
it's just Oasis blessing me, you know.
Yeah. Okay, in that case, she's just gonna try and hurt you again.
All right, let her
She really
dispel
likes
magic.
hurting
It's
you.
okay. She can dispel magic.
No, don't worry. She is going to summon a spiritual weapon and take a whack at you. And that's just her bonus action. So she's gonna cast, essentially, let me just kind of draw something in here because I don't have a mini handy for it. I think she casts a spiritual weapon, and just to mock you, it looks like your chain of shattered fate.
This
And
bitch.
she yells down at all of you,
Wow.
you know it's never too late to convert to the way of the Whispers. We'd be happy to have a group as powerful as you working for the Emperor. We only want what's best for Dion. And this spiritual weapon, this whip, takes a crack at you, Killian. So it is going to see if there's a attack roll. Does a 16 hit you?
16 does not hit me.
Okay, very nice.
I'll deflect it and say, "Not today, bitch."
Dirty language for a man of the gods. And that was her bonus action. See if I want to do any. Oh no, the attack was the action. Okay, that's it for her. She's just taunting you, playing with her food. Last but not least, we got one last gnome. Miss Tessa. Oh, did I put Tessa out of order? Who did I not do yet? I haven't done Nibble yet. Okay. Nibble over here, this little guy with bright white hair sticking out of his head in all directions, and just like pencils stuck any which where that he could put them. He's trying to decide if he wants to get free or do some damage, but I think he just wants to get free first so he can do more damage from up close. So he's going to roll to see if he can get out of his shackles. He does. First gnome to be able to get out of his shackles. He immediately, very quickly and nimbly, this little old gnome lockpicks his own shackles and gets up, and he's going to run over to try and help Pemwick get hers off. Actually, he'll stay next to Hera and try and help get hers off. So next time she can pick her lock, he'll be able to give her the help action. And we're back around the top to some cultists. So, cultist D over here. Bula, you are too close for comfort. That one's guarding the door, so he's just going to step in so that he can use his Pact Blade on you. That's only an 11 to hit.
Nope.
Alrighty. Killian, you're up.
Question for the DM. Applying poisons to weapons, is that an action or a bonus action?
What kind of damage does the poison add? Do you roll for it, or is it a flat damage?
If
you hit.
It makes a like a saving throw. The target makes a saving throw.
Okay. I was just thinking, like, do we want to run it like a potion where you can do it as an action for full or a bonus action for half, but that doesn't really apply to this mechanically, so I'll say it can be like a bonus action. You just have to very quickly unstop or a vial and code it. So
yeah.
Bonus action makes sense.
Not to be that guy.
Is there a rule for
but
this?
it is an action because to do it as a bonus action, that's the poisoner feat.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. You're right. Okay.
That's
Thank
all right.
you, rules lawyer.
Part you, Kellyanne,
That's why
but
we have
sorry.
DMs who aren't
No, that's
DMs.
all right. That's all
Forgot
good.
to give us homework.
Actually.
That's all right. It's all
Supposed
right.
to have a pop quiz today.
All right. Killian will. This I don't think a spiritual weapon gets opportunity attack, does it? No. All right. Yeah. So Killian is gonna run up beside Bula and get after this guy. All right. So attacking with the saber. So it got Vex from the last time I attacked. That was like my third attack was with the saber. So it gets advantage on this attack. And that's going to be 19 plus 12. So that's a lot.
That's funny.
So it's going to do, at first strike is going to do 10 radiant damage. The second attack with the nick property of my scimitar.
If you want to use that second attack somewhere else, the first attack killed them.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great. So
Bula just looks at Killian. She's kind of like, that one was mine.
It's a heat of battle. We'll kill other people. Let's go. All right.
Bula's enemy aggressive.
Unfortunately, Killian can't move anymore. Let me see. So that was his.
Anything ranged?
Not. Well, I already used my first attack, so I can't change up what I'm doing right now. I'll do. The doors are still shut there, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. As a bonus action, Because it does say it for this particular item that I have. I'm going to use a bonus action to grab a little flask that I have and uncork it. And it's like a dark, viscous, looks like blood almost. And it is the Barb Devil Blade Oil that I have. And I'm going to pour it over top of the saber, which is currently lit in the divine energy. So it almost like sizzles on top of it as I just spread it across. It almost leaves like the binding of demonic and celestial leaves like almost like a Damascus looking pattern to it.
Yeah, like oil on water.
Yeah, exactly. Just kind of coats the blade on top, and that'll be my turn.
Okay, crazy using devil on devil violence. We love to see it. I will kill you with the blood of your own. Okay. Got some gnomes, gotta do some stuff. Quillip and Penwick are gonna go. Quillip did an attack last time. This time he's gonna try and free himself so he can get in and hurt someone else with one of his gadgets. He manages to unshackle himself easily enough as his bonus action. He is going to get up off of his little round rump and go and try and hurt somebody because they've been hurting him and his people. He sends his little flying bug biter over to bite at the one guarding the door. It's a nice clean hit. Bug goes over, attaches itself, and starts vibrating and sending a spray of blood all over the place for a good bit of damage from the cultist by the door.
That thing is nasty.
Yeah, that thing's crazy. You should see his little mechanical mosquito. Ugh.
Yikes.
He managed to still make it give you Lyme disease.
Wow, that's just cruel.
I know.
Yes.
Okay, Hemwick gets to go. Did he free himself? I can't remember. Philip did. Nibble did. Hemwick
He
did not. Right? Okay, he's gonna try and free himself as well. That's an @1, sadly. Still not free. Still trying though. Cultist A, I believe, is in the room with Sarah. Yep. They look to Vesh, who appears to still be working on you, Seraphina. So they trust the mithril binding and that Vesh is still there. So they're actually pretty mad that Tessa just used her little screaming device on them. So they're gonna attack Tessa. From across the room, they send a radiant ray at her, which hits. And unfortunately, Tessa is a little inventor alchemist lady. She is not very strong, so she goes down to 0 hit points. You hear Tessa's body hit the floor behind you. Next up is Bula.
All right. So, with Killian having stolen her kill, she is going to move over to Cultist E, and she is going to move right over top of Cultist D as she does so. Crunch, crunch, crack, snap.
Ribs under boot.
Under the boot. Can she see Amelia up here?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's only the terrace is only like 10 feet off the ground, and the wall is a half wall.
Okay.
So if anything, Amelia just has like half cover essentially.
Okay. So as she pulls out her axe and comes down on this priest or this cultist here, she's at the same time looking up there. She says, "I see you. You have my snacks, And that just makes you duller than a rubber axe. It's the dumbest thing to do. As she's like axing this guy over here, not even like hardly paying attention to him. She's just threatening
I think as a
Amelia.
reaction, she pulls out a pork butt and just starts chewing on some nice fatty pork meat. It is so well seasoned, you can smell it.
And Bula is just taking out her frustrations on this guy in front of her. All right.
I missed you guys through a full mouth of pork.
When I get a hold of you, there's gonna be nothing left of you. Ugh. Even the pigs won't have anything to chew on.
All that left over, she hasn't even eaten half this pork butt, and she just throws it over her shoulder onto the floor. Just wastes it.
Wow.
She's like seething and frothing. That would be a 25 to hit the guy in front of her.
Yeah, that is.
Okay. That'll be 16 points of damage.
Nice.
Okay. And she is going to swing again. She's just swinging out of... She is focused on Amelia up there. That's going to be a 19 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. So again, another 16 points of damage.
Nice.
She's just slashing away at this guy while she screams at Amelia about the food. When I get up there, ooh, I'm gonna tan your hide.
Yeah, but I don't think I'd taste as good as all your food that I've been eating for the last 12 hours. Sorry.
I'm not gonna taste you. There's not gonna be enough left of you for me to taste. She's getting like crazy eyes. That's her turn.
That's it? Okay. Marway.
Okay, I have a question. Benji and our other gnome friend, they have shackled themselves, though. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Excellent. So because they have completed the suggestion, they are no longer under the suggestion. So we're gonna have Huthamar for my bonus action come over and teleport them out of their shackles.
Ah! Okay, very nice.
Because we don't need any of that business. We're gonna keep Siege back for right now, and I think Maraway is gonna peek his head out. And there's a special place in his heart for people who befriend you and then stab you in the back. And I think he
Literally.
has a little bit of memories of Amelia disappearing, so we're gonna fire a Starry Wisp to make sure that she can't turn invisible and run away like she did last time.
Alright.
Thank you.
Smart.
And with a +9, that is going to be a 22.
Nice.
That hits.
So no invisibility for you. And that's going to be 12 radiant damage.
Beautiful.
We're going to tuck Eden behind this bookcase. And I believe that's everything. We're gonna duck back though. I'm not looking. I popped out. I caused issues for Amelia, and now I'm gonna hide again.
Okay, cool. Good turn. Very smart moves. Cultist E is just taking these blows from a very angry half-orc in front of him, screaming about pork and snacks.
She's not even looking at him. She's just hacking away.
He's gonna use his multi-attack with his Pact Blade, which is something they don't pull out super often. The first one is a 25 to hit.
Yes.
That's gonna be 12 slashing plus 15 radiant damage for a total of 27.
Okay. Well, how much was the radiant damage?
Let me look at my...
Because the slashing I can half because of rage.
Yeah, the radiant was... Did I say the radiant first or second? It's not telling me. I have
Second.
both. So it was 15 radiant.
15 radiant, and then
It was
What was-
12 slashing.
12, so I can take that to 6.
Yep.
A paper cut. I am
And then-
focused.
Well, second attack also hits ya for an additional 12 slashing, which you can have to 6,
6.
and another 18 radiant this time.
Okay. So she's mad, so she doesn't
Either-
feel it, but she is not looking great.
Yeah, these are the
in
same
her
radiant
anger.
weapon slashes that you saw take Seraphina down last fight.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel good. Okay, Irbessa, now free from her chains and from that shoddy, half well written, terribly written command. She says, I think it sounds like you have a devil in there, and I think she would be very ashamed to hear how bad you are at making deals and telling people what to do. I am gonna make fun of you for that for a long time. And she reaches into one of her bags, like reaches way down deep in a pocket with her whole arm up to her shoulder. And then from out of the bag comes her arm wearing this like massive ticking clockwork claw that has just like sleeved itself up her arm like a long glove. And she is going to, there's only one cultist left, but she wants to get in that room and help you guys. So she's gonna, how much movement can I get with her? Ha, just enough. I love when that happens. Thank you, Hoothmer. Go running up to the one that you're slashing at, Bula, and make a multi-attack with her little clockwork claw. Which hits, and we love to see it on the first one. And she grapples them. Yes. So as far as damage goes, put that in. As she grapples them, she's going to give them an additional amount of piercing damage as well. So this guy's starting to look real bad. And that's only her first attack. Yes, Eidos C is just fine. Thank you. Thank you, you're correct. Second one does not hit, though. But yeah, she grabs on this massive claw and her little gnome arm grabs onto him and just, like, claws digging into his body from beneath him. This little short gnome starts just kind of throwing him around like a little toy with her big old clockwork arm. I'm gonna do a death saving throw for Miss Tessa in there with Seraphina. That's a save. Love to see it. Okay, the one who is frightened from Irbessa's first turn is, I think they can roll a saving throw again. They're gonna save from that frightened, so they shake themselves out of it because they're more scared of the devil woman inside. And he's gonna shoot a radiant ray at Benji.
Which one is this? C?
Yep, it does hit, and it hurts. He's not downed, but it hurts. Can't math. When there's a 7 involved in math, I might as well just not have a brain. Smooth brain. 7s don't compute to me. Anyway. Okay, Eidos, that's you.
Okay. I'm gonna move on closer here. Step over our bud. 10, 20. Let's go. 30. Oh. So close. And I'll use some sorcery points to cast Mind Spike as a bonus action, quicken spell, at Oh, it's blocked. The one in front of Bula. I think it's E.
Got it. E. Yep.
Yeah. And that's gonna be a Wisdom 17 saving throw.
Okay. Huh, that's a 16. Failure.
Failure? Okay. So it's gonna take 5 of these bad boys. 10, 15, 18, 20 points of, I think, psychic damage. Yeah. And, is he still up?
Yes, but not by much.
Okay. Ados does a little super cool pirouette spin move, and as he faces him again, he'll cast his lightning blast cantrip just to hopefully finish him off. That's either, yikes, an 11 or an 11. That's 2 3s in a row.
Yep, not gonna cut it.
Cool. But the pirouette
Looked very pretty.
Thank you. At least
Your
it's that.
hair just like fanned in like a Maybelline commercial.
Consider it a
He's going
warning,
with
it
it.
says.
It's
And
a
that
very
is
wicked hair flip.
nice. That is my turn now.
Okay. Seraphina, inside the room. Anything
Okay.
you want to do?
Yeah, so, okay, I have a question about something for Seraphina. So
Yeah.
she has a devil's tongue.
She sure does.
My notes say that her devil's tongue allows her to compel, demons or those possessed by them to speak only the truth. Would that apply to Our Lady? This devil?
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to be a Bobby here, but she is a devil and not a demon.
Not a demon.
And the
Which
only
is
reason it works is
confusing.
because it's a devil's tongue. It is confusing, but those are two different peoples.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's okay. I have something else. I do have one spell that only has a verbal component, and that is Guardian of Faith. So a large spectral guardian appears and hovers for the duration in an unoccupied space. And then an enemy that moves to the space or starts their turn in the space must make a dexterity saving throw. And okay, so I'm gonna have the guardian appear maybe like here.
You said it's what size, too?
It's large. I don't know how large. It's large, like the devil size.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, but it's like hovering, so they can
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
overlap. Yeah, that's good.
What's your guardian look like?
Yes, it will take the shape of my patron.
Oh.
Which I will allow Kara to describe to you.
Yeah. Okay, so you know your patron is gargantuan, but this is a rendering of your patron. A massive dragon with very depthful eyes and scales that are equivalent to the white of a star. Like sometimes you look at them and they're blue, sometimes yellow, but always with this bright whiteness, this ever-shifting sort of opalescence appears in the room. Not that any of your characters know that, but that is what it looks like for the players.
Okay, so if the enemies are within 10 feet and they start their turn within 10 feet of this guardian, they have to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, at the start of their turn?
Okay, yes.
Yeah, that's what I said. Okay. Okay, cool. Very nice.
Truthfully, I was hoping it was just going to be the visage of just a huge dominatrix.
Bigger one. Nesting
mean-
dolls of domination.
Dragon
Just trying to
dominatrix.
rebrand right now.
Seraphina's version, like the dragon is wearing like pleaser heels that are like clear and have like dragon scale glitter inside.
Fishnet hose up its big haunches.
Yeah.
Just got like
Version.
it's got like the riding crop just in her hands.
Sharp cat eye makeup. Red lips. Okay. Hera's turn down here. She's not quite free yet, so she's gonna roll with advantage as Nibble tries to help her get out of her shackle. That'll do it. Thank goodness for advantage. So Hera is now free as well. And she's going to do some Nomi stuff.
Oh, Nomi's here?
No, Nomi's not here. They just know her, personally. Just gonna act like Nomi. Who's left? I'm gonna run down the stairs. Gonna get in range of the cultist. She herself... Let me see, what's her specialty?
Oh, I forgot.
Go ahead while I'm looking up
I
this.
forgot to roll death saving throws for Gloorbell.
Thank you, yep, roll a d20.
Oh no, it's a 4.
That's bad.
Yep, that's a bad one. So she's got 1 save and 1 fail so far. Okay, Hera is going to, which page? I have too many tabs open. She is going to pull out a little, like, almost like an automatic revolver dart gun. Like, it looks like a tiny little gun, almost like, the pistol that's now held by Killian from Kittenberry. Only it's like a little tube, and there's this little like hand crank on it, and it's like blowing out a series of little darts at Cultist C. First one misses, second hits, third misses, but that's still gonna add in a little chunk of damage to Cultist C. Okay, Benji's turn. Also now freed thanks to Marway and gang. He says, how much y'all want me to use out of my spells right now? Do I want me to save anything, or do you want me to go all out here?
Save it.
Says yes, save it. We don't know what's in there.
We
Alright,
still have to
fair
get that woman that's got my snacks.
He is going to say, well, Bula, I might be able to help you out with that. Are you within 30 feet? I think so. Yep. Bula, he can see you, so, are you willing to get big?
Do what?
Are you willing to get bigger?
Are you willing to
Are you-
get big?
Are you willing to get big? That's it.
Yeah,
That's the question.
is that a question? She's like, puff me up, man.
All right, no saving throw needed. You are willing to get big. You feel this magical energy hit you coming from Benji. Everything you are wearing and carrying changes sizes with you.
Okay, good.
So he is casting enlarge on you. So you're going to go up from 1 size category. So you go from a medium creature to a large one. So let me see if I can adjust your token. You have advantage.
Yes!
You are very suddenly at eye level with Amelia, who like gets like big scared eyes and leans back away from you. You have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws, and your attacks deal an extra 1d4 damage on any hit.
Attacks plus 1d4 and advantage on strength.
Yep. That 1d4 is damage, not on the attack roll.
Right. On damage.
Yep. Big Bula coming at you.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Benji said, I thought you'd like that one. I feel like you can probably eat twice as much now when you get that bag back.
I am gonna eat it all.
And he's gonna move in and kind of close ranks with some of the gang here, just to be prepared for whatever else might come next.
You know when you watch your friends supporting your other friends? That feeling you get? That's how Morroway feels right now. He's just like...
Feels so good. Okay, last but not least, my cat is on my notebook. This is why I usually close the doors. We've got Nibble. Sweet Nibble. He is going to get up to some no good. He's a caster. He's gonna throw out a Ray of Frost on Cultist C. In fact, he's gonna do so from up here. It'll hit. And it'll do some damage. That cultist is not looking good, friends. He is looking worse, in case you need to know. But he's starting to take some hits. Okay, top of the order, Killian.
Alright. Killian is seeing there's a big old Bula at the door there, so he knows she's got this. He's going to head towards the other cultist over there. And he's going to head after this one that attacked Benji before. So he's going to make some attacks. So the first attack here. 11 plus 12, 23 to hit.
That hits.
Alright, so this is going to be... So 5 radiant damage, but with the barbed devil blade oil, there you go. It's going to deal an additional 1 fire damage, but it has to. This cultist has to make a Constitution saving throw, just the DC 12. So I know if that.
18.
Okay, so second attack with sorry, the nick attack of the poisoned saber there. So 15 plus 8, 23. So that's going to be... Ooh, that's pretty good. So just 6 piercing damage plus 4 poison damage.
Okay.
And then he's going to attack again with the saber, which is... 6 plus 12 for 18.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's going to be 3 plus 4, 7 radiant damage plus 1 fire damage. And it's got to roll Constitution again. DC 12.
That one's only a 10.
Okay. So it suffers a bleeding wound. So it'll take 1d4 at the start of its next turn. But with that attack, I'm also going to use a smite. So I'll use a 2nd level divine smite. So let's see. Oh, that's nice.
Hits just keep on coming.
So 15 radiant damage.
Nice. Okay. Took him down to bloodied.
All right, and that's Killian's turn.
Okay.
Before we continue, I forgot to have Amelia make a concentration saving throw on her spiritual weapon when she got hit by my starry wisps.
Thank you. I will do that now. That's a failure. Goodbye, weapon.
Yay!
Only noticed because Benji was right next to it. And I was like, I can get rid of that thing. And then I was like, wait a minute, I might have already.
Mm-hmm. Okay, beautiful. Okay, yeah, it is Quillip and Pemwick's turn. Will, with his creepy little bug, bite. It's gonna just keep on gnawing on Cultist E over there by the door for another chunk of damage. Cultist E is down to single digits, just so you guys know. And then Pemwick. It's gonna also pull out some flash powder as the bonus action and try and blind Cultist C up by Killian. They fail the save, so they blinded, and then he's literally just gonna start throwing some wrenches at Cultist C. Just a couple of ranged attacks. First hits, second hits for sure. Another good chunk of damage to C. And they blind. Okay, is Cultist A inside? Yep. What do they want to do to you, Sarah? They're having so much fun playing with you. She's had a time these last few episodes. She hasn't even been here for some of it.
Ominous at all? Jeez.
Seraphina, you can't see exactly what's happening, but they kind of move through the room over to the other end. You can't see what they're doing, though. Bula, your turn.
All
real quick,
right.
Cultist A, since he started his turn within 10 feet of the spiritual guardian, he's gonna make the dex
Oh,
save or take 20 damage.
Thank you. What kind of save was that one? The Spirit Guardian?
I think it's dex.
Oh,
That's
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I think it was Dex too.
It is Dex, yeah.
Mhm.
It is a big fat fail. How much damage
Yay,
did that be?
take
You said
20
10?
radiant damage.
20 radiant. Beautiful. Love to see them start to take some hits. Okay, now Marway. Or sorry, Bula.
Bula. All right. So
Big Bula.
she has gotten big, and all of a sudden she's already in Amelia's face. So she's still got this cultist in front of her, so she's going to go on ahead and smack that one with her axe.
Nice.
But still, she just like, as she comes up to Amelia's level, she just screams in her face. And, you know, it's good. There's screaming, but there's also like spit and foam and grossness.
Yeah. I think your nose starts to bleed a little.
Mhm.
She's so mad. All right, that's going to be a nasty, filthy 20 to hit.
Yeah, baby, that hits.
Yeah.
Keep talking dirty to me.
15 points of damage.
That will do it for him. Curtains.
All right. So she sees that she has just absolutely squashed, severed, and otherwise just absolutely squished this fella in front of her. So she has not moved yet. So how do I move like this?
It didn't say anything different about your movement speed, so I think your speed is probably the same. Mind you,
Okay.
you can now, like, climb up to Amelia's level without, like, additional movement. You don't have to, like, take that extra 10 feet to climb up there. You can just sort of step almost like, just vault yourself over this wall, which now feels like a low wall to you.
Okay. So I think what she's gonna do is she's gonna vault this wall, and she's gonna end up about here, kind of in between the cultist and Amelia.
Mhm.
And she's gonna keep doing the same thing. She's gonna hit this cultist while she is just berating Amelia, just telling her how just absolutely dumb and awful, and I mean, you are just dumber than a duck. All right, as she hits this cultist, so that's going to be a 22 to hit.
Uh-huh. That'll do.
Okay. 14 points of damage.
Did you add on that additional 1d4?
No, it didn't.
Add it on, baby. You big. Big strong Bula.
Whole 4. So what did I say? 14, so 18.
18. Yeah, nice. Okay. Standing on death's door for that cultist.
And just screaming. She's just screaming at Amelia. Just all manner of the worst, like almost polite sounding, but scathing.
Yeah, that
insults.
real southern passive aggression coming out.
Yes.
Yeah. Walking
That's
around like
okay.
you think you know who your daddy is, all big in the britches. Right, Marway.
Alright, so we're gonna have Eden go ahead and move up and duck behind this little area. We're gonna have Siege move up and stay ducked behind whatever contraption this is. And we're gonna have
Of some kind.
Huthamer move over by Bula, and we're gonna go ahead and pop a Cure Wounds through Huthamer. So you're gonna get a nice little jolt. Okay. 1 second. I have a lot of dice.
Math is hard, especially
Gonna
when
be
there's sevens
22
involved.
points.
Heck yeah. Thank you.
Nice.
For a first level spell slot, not too bad.
Not too bad at all. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hold on. Add 4 to that. I didn't add my modifier.
Will do. Even better.
And then for my bonus action, we're gonna have Huthamer shoot some little zappy zaps up at this cultist. We're not gonna be shooting zappy zaps at the cultist, just kidding. That was a vigorous nat 1.
Okay, anything else for your turn? For your thing?
No, that's it.
Alrighty. Your Bessa. She's annoyed. She thinks it's like very weirdly humid in here, so she's very mad that her hair's not looking great. She's got that clockwork claw. She drops the body of Cultist Ear when they die. So she's gonna like do some scurrying up this little wall and lands behind Amelia. And she's gonna use that claw attack on Amelia. She can tell this lady is not a friend of yours. Okay, does a little bit of piercing damage. Amelia is grappled and takes a little bit more piercing damage. Beautiful amount, really. Yep. In the room, Seraphina. Mean devil lady who tore your dress.
Deck save.
Yeah, does she
Need to
does
make a
she
deck save,
start her
thank you.
turn?
She's starting her turn. She is a bit more dexterous, but that's a 24, so she does save. Take half damage.
Yes.
Okay, what's that damage look like?
10.
Okay,
Radiant,
not nothing.
to be specific.
And you know that that actually matters here. Okay. Yeah, seems to hurt her pretty badly. Doesn't like that. Doesn't like that one bit. But regardless, she doesn't like what you just did, and she's gonna continue hurting you because she wants you to talk. She yells down at you once again, in common this time. Your friends out there aren't gonna last long against the rest of us around this city. Why don't you go ahead and tell me what they would need to stop the little search that they're doing for what we want?
Well, I'm looking for my shoe.
A red hot metal fork of some kind, like a trident looking thing, appears in her hand, and she stabs it through one of your thighs, the back of one of your thighs.
Thanks.
Does a 16 hit Seraphina? If you
Yes.
Yeah, I figured. So that's gonna be
Anything hits her.
10. Yeah, 10 piercing damage plus 9 fire damage for you.
Okay.
And she can make a bunch of attacks with that, so she's just gonna like stab, rip out in that same thigh.
Ugh.
The second
Not
one
the
is a 15
same
to
thigh.
hit.
That's rude.
For another 9 piercing and another 10 fire.
Oh no, Seraphina's at 0 hit points.
She
Actually,
KO'd again.
Seraphina. You were promised something. And you kind of feel the warmth of that promise take over you as she stabs through you a second time, and your blood just gushes down this table and drips onto the floor. I'm gonna send you one of the things that you have recently picked up
Okay.
from our conversation. Once per long rest, when you are reduced to 0 hit points, you will instead drop to 1 hit point, and you gain temporary resistance to all damage for 1 round, as long as Glitterbell is within 100 feet of you.
Even if she's passed out over there.
Even if she's half dead on the floor. So you are at 1 HP, and you have resistance to all damage types. Okay. Eidos, you're up.
Okay. I am going to move. Oh wait, there are no stairs there.
There's just the door if you're looking into Seraphina's area.
No, I was trying to get up on this upper level.
Like up where Amelia and them are?
Yeah.
You could feasibly climb up that stack of tubes. It's regardless to get up there, it's just gonna add like an additional 5 feet of movement, where like the 5 feet that covers the wall is gonna be 10 feet of movement instead.
Okay.
Or you could do a
So
sweet backflip up it.
I could do a sweet backflip.
Yeah, where are your skills?
There's skills, bro.
You're already
Hardcore.
pirouetting everywhere, so might as well.
So 10. Oh god. I'm hanging out with Irbessa. I lost my deal under hers. I am become Irbessa.
Hold on.
Okay.
Wrong thing.
Oh. Oh, you're going this way too?
Oh, we're doing that like no, you go that
sorry,
way. Okay.
Sorry. Oh, that's so embarrassing. Cultus C is alive?
I think so,
Blinded.
yeah.
C is still alive but blinded.
Well, alive but blinded. Alright, well, let's see how he takes a 3rd level chromatic orb to the face.
Prepare for 8 bounces.
So it's either this is just, I'm not twinning it, so it'll just be 3 bounces. So it's a dirty 20 or a not dirty 20.
Okay, yeah, that'll do. That's fine.
Okay. 5d8. Let's kill him dead. Yeah! That's a bounce because I got 3 ones for a total of 3. Yeah, what a gift. 6 and 11 points of damage from 5d8.
Damn, that's real bad.
That's real bad.
Not quite down, but looking really, really bad.
Oh, okay, well, it bounces into Amelia, at least, so there's that. So that's a 27 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And it bounces. We got double 2s, 4. We got 3, 7, 8, 15, and 19 points of lightning damage to Amelia.
Ooh, she does not look good either.
Nice. So going back to Cultist C to finish the job up. Oh shit. That's either a 10 or a 24.
24 does it. This damage is anything over a 6, they're down.
Oh, they're down.
Nice.
Yes.
They're down.
Six is one of the dice.
That'll do it.
Okay. And yeah, it does not bounce. So there's that. But I will use my bonus action to do a telekinetic shove and try to really just push Amelia over the ledge onto those tubes.
Okay, what kind of saving throw?
A DC 16 strength, I believe.
Okay. That's 5.
Oh, it's really embarrassing. Just ass over tea kettle, or whatever the phrase is.
Yeah. Yeah, she just like falls down and sort of catches herself, but is standing precariously on all of those tubes. So I'm gonna call her on like rough terrain, essentially.
Okay.
And
Okay,
Boo was
anything else
like,
for your turn?
dang it, I just came up here to hit her. Why'd you put her down there? I gotta go back down the stairs.
Just,
She just
you can
busted
reach
at
it.
you.
Okay. Anything else?
That'll be it for me. Thank you.
Okay. And with that, it's getting late. You have killed all the cultists in this exterior room. Amelia is looking in rough shape, and Seraphina still remains in that room, and you have not been able to lay eyes on her yet. So, we're gonna call it a night tonight. So, we're gonna pick up in this exact moment where we are leaving off next week at 8 Eastern, 7 Central to play Dungeons and Dragons with friends in the world of Dion. So make sure you come on back, watch us do the things, follow us on all the social medias and the YouTubes and the Twitters and all of those things. We love you all. Stay safe, stay healthy. Happy holidays. Everybody have a great night.
Happy holidays. Bye bye.
Bye.